Hey guys, it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on our video today. As you can see by the title, our reading is all about, does your divine counterpart know you? And guys, look at this breakdown. There is so much to talk about. We have a full extended today. So here on YouTube, we're going to be looking at the 5D connection between you and this divine counterpart that's coming through today. And then in the extended, we're looking at the 3D reality of what's going on as well. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm going to go over everything after you guys choose your groups. But yes, look at this. It is truly a deep dive, and fingers crossed that it actually gets exported and uploaded on time. A lot of times whenever I have these super duper long readings, it kind of throws off my schedule. But anyway, we're here and I'm so excited to dive deep into this reading all about, does your divine counterpart know you? This could be somebody that you know. This could be somebody that you're with right now. This could be somebody from your past. This could also be somebody that you don't know, but you're like sensing an energy or sensing a divine counterpart. Here on YouTube, we're going to be looking at, who is this person? We're going to see how do they feel about you? What's really going on in the 5D, and then in the 3D, which is the extended, we're going to look at, what are the next actions? If they could speak freely to you, what would they say? Is this truly a life partner, or is this a short-term catalyst? We'll also see where's the connection headed, over the next 3 months. So there's a lot to talk about. So get comfy, get cozy, and let me show you guys your options. I have I have 4 groups today for you guys to choose from. Each group has a different tarot deck, a different crystal, and a different card that came out as I shuffled. And one thing I started doing on Patreon, which I'm going to start doing it over here on YouTube as well, is when I show you each random card that came out, I'm going to also state the astrological placements for that specific card. So you could be drawn to the crystal, you could be drawn to the back artwork, you could be drawn to the front artwork. You could be drawn to the actual card itself. You could be drawn to the astrological placements. There are so many ways for you to choose your groups. And you can also watch as many as you like, because maybe there are multiple divine counterparts coming through today to talk to you about different things. So, but I will say I am reading these as romantic readings. So if you're asking about somebody who is strictly platonic, please still watch this, but you're just going to have to interpret the messages a little bit differently. But yeah, so yeah, let's get into your selection today. Group 1, this is the After Tarot deck. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this carnelian. And your card is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is water, the element of water. Group 2, this is the Landscapes Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this blue Caribbean calcite. And your random card is the Fool with the number 0. And this astrological placement is Uranus. Group 3, this is a pink Rider-Waite Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this rose quartz. And your card is the 4 of Swords with the keywords rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, and solitude. And this is Jupiter in Libra. Group 4, this is the Mistake Mondays Tarot. This is what the back looks like. I just noticed that it's not aligned. The symbol. I've never noticed that before. Okay, and this is Zebra Jasper. And your card is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess rules the moon, which is also water. Okay, you guys, here are all of your options laid out for you side by side. Like I said, you can watch as many as you would like and take all the time you need to pick your groups. There's multiple ways for you to be drawn to them. And you can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this carnelian with the Page of Cups and the After Tarot deck, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support here on my channel, whether it's your first time here or if you have watched my readings before. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. Now, let's go over this breakdown because there is so much to talk about. I will talk about the extended once we get done with the YouTube portion. So here on YouTube, we're going to start off with an energy check. That's going to be this right here. This is going to show us who your divine counterpart is, or who is the divine counterpart that is coming through today. We'll go ahead and answer these questions about the connection, about them. So we'll see, do they feel your energy right now? Do they know that it's you by name / energy, or is it just a feeling? What is stopping / blocking them from reaching out in the 3D? How are you feeling towards them and towards this connection? We'll also see, what are you both currently learning about each other / this connection in the 5D? And then what is one specific sign the universe is going to give them about you? I don't know when. I didn't really put a specific time frame here, but just a specific sign that the universe is giving them, actively giving them about you. But yes, so that is the breakdown for here on YouTube. So let's get into it. When we go through the energy check, and if you feel like this person doesn't sound like somebody you have in mind, or it just doesn't feel like this would be your counterpart, then go ahead and check out a different group. Now, let's get started. With this Page of Cups, it definitely feels like this could be somebody who's younger than you. This could also be somebody who is not as mature. Well, here's the thing. As of right now, I'm not gauging your own spiritual evolution or your own maturity, but this person specifically, it feels like they are still learning. They're still evolving. They feel a little immature or a little like young, in the sense of like they don't have a lot of experiences about life, or maybe about spirituality or about their emotions. So it just kind of feels like they're a very young energy, and they are just evolving. They're just waking up to something. And I don't think this is specifically about your connection. I think just in life, they are just like waking up to like adulthood, or waking up to like the next era of their life. 222, as I said that. Because it just feels like somebody who's young, who is still growing up, who is still learning and evolving. So you could be in a similar boat as this person, but it does feel like they are young. So maybe like late teens, early 20s, maybe even mid 20s. I don't know. They just feel like younger. It feels like they don't have a lot of life experience right now, or they don't have a lot of like romantic experience. So they're just kind of like learning and evolving and finding their way. So they just feel very young right now, for sure. It feels like they are learning the depths of their own emotions and their own spirituality. Like the way this fish is falling out of this cup, it feels like they are a little bit surprised, or they're a little bit shocked, maybe by their own emotions, maybe by things they were suppressing, maybe by their own intuition, their own spiritual side of them. Like something is like surprising them right now, or something is shocking them, but it is something that's coming out from beneath the surface. So it's not like a surface level thing is causing them to like have this aha moment or this epiphany that is, causing them to evolve. It feels like something that is much deeper beneath the surface, that is coming out to the surface, and it's giving them an aha moment about themselves that they didn't know before. And this is either like jumpstarting some kind of a spiritual evolution, or it's like it's kind of slowly waking them up to themselves, or to a deeper version of themselves, which is why it feels like, that's why it feels like they're young, because it feels like they don't know themselves that well. They're still becoming emotionally mature, or they're still tuning into who they really are as a person. But yeah, water could be significant. Seashells could be significant. Definitely water signs. The element of water. They could also live somewhere that's by the beach, or maybe they hang out by the water. I'm also thinking about like surfing. This person could maybe like to surf or like to swim. So what I'm gonna do is, I have cards here. This is the energy check for who this person is. So this is going to show us a little bit about them. I also have some astro dice that I will roll in a second to get some more astrological placements for them, or anything else, specific spirit wants to share. But yeah, let's get into it. So let's see, who is the divine counterpart that's coming in for group 1? It says, I feel the same. Release. Ooh, 9 of Wands. Okay, that kind of makes sense. I feel like right now in this person's life, they're going through a metamorphosis, you guys. Like, that's what I'm hearing. It's like, that's why it feels like they're awakening to something. Something triggered them recently, and they're going through like an actual energetic purge, or energetic wake-up call, or literally like a spiritual awakening. So that's why it's like, that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Jupiter. Oh, we love Jupiter. Mutable, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. We have Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and um, what is that? Pisces? Yeah, Pisces. So, okay, very specific energy. This person is absolutely going through a wake up call or going through some kind of a spiritual awakening, going through an emotional awakening. It does feel like an old version of themselves is falling apart. This is the crown chakra card with this release energy here. It feels like this person is realizing that they were living a life up until now that was very inauthentic. There's also this massive ego debt that they're going through, which is why I kept feeling like the transformation that's happening, it's coming from beneath the surface. It's not like an ego-centered wake-up call. It's not like, oh, I look good today, or like, oh, I need to work on my body. I need to work on my physical lifestyle. No, it's like literally beneath the surface. And it's to such an extent that it like shocked them. Like they didn't even realize like they had this much depth within them, or that they had these things beneath the surface that was maybe getting dismissed for a while. And it's like something about this came from such like depths within their soul that it like really shocked them as a person. And I think that's why right now they're kind of like withdrawing. So if you know this person, if they've been a little bit quiet around you, or if they haven't been talking to you as much, or if they've really just like, because I'm seeing it like a crab, and I'm seeing this crab that is going back into its shell, like a hermit that's going hermit back into the shell. And I think that they are really like disconnecting from the world around them because they're in such shock of like what happened. So that's interesting, right? Like, because then that makes me wonder like what happened for this person. But it feels like a massive like tower moment, just a massive wake up call. And it just like flipped, it just flipped on them. And maybe for some of you, the more I sit with this energy, maybe they're not that young, but maybe they're like, they could be an older person who's finally having that wake up call. Because we all know those people, right, that are in their 30s, 40s, but they had always been very immature, or they've never had that ego death, they've never had that spiritual awakening. So something about their energy feels like it's a child again. They feel like they have to learn things all over again, or navigate a new type of lifestyle, a new type of evolution, or a new adulthood, quote unquote, that they've never experienced before. So for some of you, they could be older, but they're just experiencing such a massive shift and massive tower moment. Because this really feels like whatever life they were living, it has absolutely crumbled in the most like shocking and or chaotic way, that they have no other choice but to surrender to the falling apart, which I think that's what scared them the most. Because especially this person feels like they like to be in control. They like to know what's happening in their life. They're in control of their life. So the moment this deep internal transformation just like shattered everything, it's like they were so out of control, and it was such an out of body experience for them that they literally didn't know what to do other than maybe like collapse with it and withdraw themselves. Now, with this, I feel the same. If for those of you, I think for a lot of you, you know this person because it feels like you've had some kind of a relationship or even a friendship or like acquaintances. Like you know this person, I think for a good majority of group one, because with the I feel the same, they're saying to you that whatever happened here, like it's not because of you, and it's also not because of your connection. They're saying that they do feel the same. Like there's a feeling here like the love or the relationship or the friendship or the companionship that you guys shared, it is mutual and it is still there, but they had to completely withdraw because their entire world is falling apart. But they're saying to you it has nothing to do with you. For some of you, I don't know if you like triggered this within them. We'll see that actually on question number 5. To see if anything was triggered here, but it's possible you triggered them to some extent to have this wake-up call and have this transformation within themselves, but it's also possible that you didn't. I'm not getting a definite answer, so it feels like they're saying to you, even if I'm not talking to you right now in the real world, I feel the same. Like I still care about you, I still love you, I still want a connection with you or whatever it is. But as of right now, my entire world is falling apart, and I just don't think I can navigate both of the things at the same time. So it feels like right now they really need space, and they really need to like figure out what's going on their own. But I do think like they're having a massive ego death, and their entire like defenses, their defense mechanism, everything, their foundation, like everything about it just is has completely crumbled. Now, I do think that the previous version of this person was really holding them back in this lifetime, and it wasn't helping them reach their ultimate potential. It does feel like group one, maybe you always saw this person's potential deep down. You always saw that they have this expansive Jupiter energy. They have this light, they have a big destiny, a big purpose. They're a really great person. I think deep down, you always like intuitively just sensed these 1111 on the time as I'm saying that. You've always just sensed that they have a lot of potential that they're not tapping into. And I think you also sense that it is an ego thing. It is their ego that is keeping them in the way of tapping into their true potential. I think you also notice that they're probably very intuitive and spiritual if only they tapped into it, right? So it feels like you've always known this. And even now, as you're listening to this, I feel like you're gaining a bit of a confirmation of like, yeah, like that's right. I always knew that. I always knew it about this person, because with Jupiter here, it really shows me that they are destined to live a really big and expansive life. They're destined to hit big milestones. They're destined to really come out of their shell, but they can't do all of these things if they're sitting in their ego, and if that ego is trapping them. So it feels like they had to go through an ego death for that to shatter, so then they can emerge as this more pure energy of who they really are, and an energy that really aligns with their soul and with their higher self, and aligns better with the life they're meant to live in this lifetime. So yeah, I think you've always sensed that within them. And it also feels like even when nobody believed in them before, you always believed in them. You always like, maybe you always supported them or stood by them as much as you could, or you were always rooting them on, because I think that's something they're noticing during this, transformation in their life. They're realizing, oh wow, like group one always believed in me, or like group one said something like this would happen, or group one said, X, Y, and Z. So I think now when they're in their bit of isolation, hermit stage that they're going through, they're really thinking about everything that you have said to them. And it feels like, because it feels like you were always a bit more advanced than them emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, like all of the above, right? Like maybe that's why I was getting this energy of they're younger than you, because you were always a bit more advanced than them, but you always saw their potential. And I think that now this is when they're catching up to maybe where you are at, because this is probably one of the biggest transformations they're going through, or maybe the first one they're ever going through. So it feels like they're slowly catching up to your level and your frequency. And I think because they're going through this change, it's also making them realize they have more clarity about you, and they have more clarity about this connection now because of it. Now, with this surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change, for some of you, it's possible you're like broken up, or you're not actively with this person right now, because they're in this energy of like, I'm not going to chase group one, because they realize something is going on, right? Like maybe they realize something was their fault, but they're realizing the truth beneath all of these things. And they're in this energy of like, you know what, like maybe I'm not fit to be with group one right now, but I'm not going to chase group one, because I think they're realizing that there's certain things about themselves that they have to fix and work on and heal through first before they could come back to you. So that actually feels like very nice for this energy, because it feels like they're maturing enough to have the emotional intelligence to realize, okay, I'm not ready yet. I'm not capable of giving group one what they want just yet. And they're not like forcing anything, and they're not chasing it, which is a good sign in this sense, because that means they're putting their transformation first. This person probably has a really big personality. Oh, something just like fell. Okay. This person probably has a really big personality with Jupiter. They could be very attractive. They could have a lot of friends. They could be popular. But yeah, it really feels like whatever's happening, it's helping them align to who their soul really is and what their purpose really is in this lifetime. and it feels like an inevitable transformation. You can't really stop it, but at the same time, you can't really help them, because I feel like you're on the outside looking in, and they're on the outside looking in as into you as well. It feels like you're not in the same, you're like not in the same room, you know, like you're both looking at it from the outside looking in into the other person. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh yeah, my dice. Let's see, anything else? Any astrological placements? Oh, actually, so we have Jupiter here. We have the signs here, Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces. This is crown chakra energy. This is Sagittarius. So you have Sag out here twice. This is actually Moon in Sagittarius. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So this could be somebody who's from a different culture than you. Maybe they were born in a different country, but, you know, yeah, lots of Sag, Moon and Sag. Okay, let's get any specific zodiac placements or anything else about this person for group 1. Okay, we have Uranus. Uranus, Sag again. Okay, so, and then we have the second house. So Sag is out here 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I think this person could literally have like a Sag stellium, have multiple signs in Sag. Maybe they have a lot of Sag in their big 3 because this is Moon and Sag. So they were absolutely living in a box up until now. And I think that's why there was so much frustration and so much like friction and chaos within this person's internal world, because they, with all this Sagittarius energy, they are meant to be a free bird. They are meant to be as expansive as the universe, but they were stuck in a box. So you can, it's like that pressure cooker. It's like the pressure is just building and building and building, and it had nowhere to go. And I feel like that box was a false identity, or it was a false life. It was a false version of themselves. And then eventually it just exploded. And now they're realizing, oh, like I am meant to be expansive, you know, in that sense. With Uranus here, this is very interesting because Uranus is about sudden change. So literally it is that lightning bolt tower moment. It's like something really happened to where it happened very quickly and very suddenly to this person. And it's just like everything just fell apart. They could have Uranus in the second house. They could have Sag in the second house. They could also be a Sag rising. They could be a Sag sun, moon rising. They could have Jupiter in the second house. For some of you, they could have Aquarius in the second house. But yeah, massive, massive change. And again, with Uranus, it's inevitable. You know, it's just whatever this change was, they couldn't have stopped it. And they also couldn't have like done anything differently about it. The second house is all about values. Second house is actually ruled by Taurus. And it's all about values, what they value on the inside and outside. It's about their finances. It's about their money. It's about their foundation. It's about their self-worth. So yeah, even their possessions. Yeah, it really feels like they're realizing what their true priorities are, what's the true foundation they want to build for themselves, what they truly value in this lifestyle. They're also realizing the life they were living up until now did not align with their true values, and that's why they were always frustrated, because it just feels like there was always this emotional, mental, spiritual disconnect within this person. And it just like finally clicked, and because it was such a powerful click, it like everything had to fall apart. But with that second house and Taurus, it really feels like a brand new structure that they are building for themselves. Some of you, they could be going through a Saturn return right now. They could even be going through a Jupiter return right now, which happens like once every 12 years. Right now, Jupiter is in Cancer. So that could be significant for some of you as well. Speaking of Cancer, and we have the moon. Yeah. Okay, is that everything that I'm seeing so far? I think so. So I want to get into the questions now. So question number 1, do they feel your energy right now? So this person that we're talking about for group 1. Also, if this doesn't resonate, check out a different group. But does this person feel group 1's energy right now? Does this person feel group 1's energy right now? The Hanged Man, wow. And look, in the after tarot, there's like a person giving them water to sustain themselves. Oh yeah, they even look High Priestess, bottom of the deck. I definitely think that this person is feeling your energy, and it even feels like you're a support system for them right now energetically. And I said that earlier, right? Like they're having a realization that you were always right about something, or that like you always saw the truth in them, you always saw the real them. So even this feels like my support system when I am in a period of this wake up call, or when I'm going through this transformation. Group one's energy is my support system right now. So, and even with this here, I think they gravitate to you right now in the 5D, because they just find a lot of peace and comfort within your energy, and especially when they're so lost and confused, and it feels like you are like that one bright light, or like that one anchor in their life that they just find themselves coming back to, like a lighthouse. And it definitely feels like with this, they're having a massive perspective shift, not only about their entire life, but also about you. That's what I said earlier too. They're seeing you in a different light, and they never saw you like this before. They never felt this way about you before. But you're definitely their support system right now as they are going through this emotional and spiritual transformation. Question 2, do they know that it's you by name slash energy, or is it just a feeling? For this group, I think for sure you know who this person is, and they know who you are. Even the fact that there's like an actual person in this card as well, where in traditional Hanged Man, there's only one person. Even this feels like they know who you are by name. For some of you, you could literally be their support system right now, because since there is this other person, for some of you, maybe you are like checking in on them, bringing them soup or food or whatever, or like taking care of them to some extent in the physical world. But let's see, do they know that it's you by name, or is it just a feeling? Do they know group 2 by, or sorry, not group 2. Do they know group 1 by name, or is it just a feeling to them? Okay, 7 of Cups in the reverse and Judgment. They definitely know you by name. Now, if this is somebody, say you really have no idea who this person is, and this is not like the person or the connection you're thinking of, Empress bottom of the deck, it feels like they've like narrowed it down to you. If you really don't know who they are, they've narrowed the energy down to you. But for a lot of you, it's like they know who you are, but it finally clicks for them as well. With the 7 of Cups in the reverse and Judgment here, it's like they're finally seeing the truth of it, which is kind of what I was feeling this entire time. I do think this transformation is helping them see you as a real person, but also like as the person that maybe is meant for them right now, the person who is helping them, the person who is the catalyst for this. Like, I think they really are able to pinpoint you by name, or at least by a very specific frequency if you don't know who they are. And even this feels like during this time, you're the only constant that in the 5D world, your energy and your soul is like the only constant that is there for them right now. For those of you, if you're actively with this person, it's possible they're going through this massive transformation and you're actively in a relationship with them during this time, then I think that all of the messages would still apply, but I think you're wise enough to know that they're going through something. Because I think if you were not wise yourself and you saw that they were just distancing themselves and they like maybe weren't giving you the attention they gave you in like a different time in your relationship, I think that you could have gone crazy and you could have lashed out on them and kind of like made the situation much worse. But I think you have a level of wisdom to where you know they're going through a deep internal healing and transformation. So even if you're actively with them, you're allowing them the space they need to grieve or to go through whatever they're going through. For some of you, this could have even been like a like this person is standing in a grave, right? So in a graveyard. So it's like this could have literally been like an actual death that happened in their life, or like an actual ending that happened in their physical life, and you are their support system through this right now. So that release and everything I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be energetic and a spiritual transformation, but it could be like something in their life that was taken away from them. and they're kind of spiraling because of it. You know, maybe it was a job that was taken away from them. Maybe it was a person that they really loved that happened to pass away, or something like that. It doesn't have to be, I guess, like a massive energetic transformation, but even through this, they do sense that you're a constant. Your soul is a constant, and it's a support system for them. So what is stopping / blocking them from reaching out in the 3D? For those of you that are in a no contact, what is stopping / blocking them from reaching out to group 1 in the 3D? The Hermit. Yes, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, so for a lot of you, there's that High Priestess again peeking out. 8 of Wands in the reverse. For a lot of you, I feel like you're not in contact. That's what I felt in the very beginning too. It's like you know them, but both of you are on the outside looking in for a lot of you. So yeah, the reason they're not reaching out, pretty much everything I said. They're going through a hermit stage. Something in their life shattered and or fell apart, and they have to pick themselves back up, and they have to rebuild a new foundation and a new life for themselves. And the 8 of Wands, this is again Sagittarius energy. The 8 of Wands is Mercury and Sag, so it's like they want to communicate with you. They have so much they want to say to you. They want to like share everything with you, but they're really holding themselves back right now because they know that maybe it's not the right time to talk to you. They know that they can't manage both. They can't handle their own transformation and also a relationship with you right now. So it feels like the reason that they're still thinking about you. What I said earlier, they still care. They still think about you, and you are their support system in the 5D. But in the 3D, they're not reaching out because they're just not ready. But that doesn't mean that they're not interested. So we have Pisces here. We have Virgo. We have Mercury and Sag. Judgment is Pluto. You can also look at it as like Scorpio. You can look at it as like Aries as well. And then this is actually Scorpio. The 7 of Cups is Venus and Scorpio. So any of these could be significant placements. Oh, okay. I'm not going to take that because I didn't ask a question for it. How are you feeling? Oh my gosh, I just realized all I wrote is how are you feeling them / this guy. Is that what I meant to say, or did I mean to say how are you feeling about them? How are you feeling about them / this connection? So for group 1, how is group 1 currently feeling about this person and this connection? How is group 1 currently feeling about this? There's the High Priestess again. Okay, I think right now you're like I said, you're wise enough to realize like something is not your burden or something is not your problem right now. Something is not your responsibility. And that's why for a lot of you, I do think you have given this person space, or like you're accepting the space that they are seeking, or like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I feel like there's no friction between the two of you right now. There's no like runner chaser energy, because I think you're also realizing like they're going through a lot and you just have to let them go through it. You know, and there's nothing you can do in the moment. Maybe you can continue to send them that love in the 5D. Maybe if you know them physically, maybe you can like drop by occasionally and like give them something like food or whatever to make them feel better. But I do think you're wise enough to realize like yeah, this is not my problem. It's their hermit stage. It's their transformation. It's not my place to take on this burden. So, but I think that you still have the way that this person is still holding on to that 1 wand. It's making me feel like the Ace of Wands. So I think like energetically, you're definitely like connected to this person intuitively, because we saw this High Priestess 3 times now. And I think you know what's happening with them. You understand it, but you are not fully like, you haven't fully disconnected from them. I feel like you've left the door open. There still is that 1 wand. There's still a bit of a spark. There's still a bit of like okay, like it could be possible. You know, I'll give them time to heal and maybe we could reconnect in the future. Or I do see potential there for like when the timing is right. So I do think that you haven't fully shut the door, but you're also not waiting at the door. You know, you left the door open and you're like, if it happens, great, but you know that right now they have to go through what they have to go through. So I love that energy for you, group one. That again shows me your maturity, which I was feeling that this entire reading. Okay, question 5. What are you both currently learning about each other / this connection? What is group one and this person currently learning about each other? So, okay. Aw, 10 of Pentacles. And we have the Sun, bottom of the deck. One thing this person is learning, and then we also have the Magician. What this person is learning is that they can't build a life, they can't build a long-term life on a faulty foundation. And that's what I'm sensing with that 10 of Pentacles. It's like if they want stability, and they want stability with somebody like you, who is the High Priestess, who is probably a very independent and self-sufficient person, they have to match your energy. That's something this person is realizing. They can't just meet you and like, you know what I mean? Like they can't just fake it till they make it, and they can't just meet you. They have to meet you where you are. And that's what they're realizing with that 10 of Pentacles, is that their foundation or their inner world or their life or everything about what was going on with them, it just wasn't matching up to meet like somebody like you. And I think that is also something that could have caused this transformation. It's like there was definitely a catalyst here, and I think you definitely had something to do with it. They're also learning that like true happiness with the Sun here comes from themselves. This could have been somebody who, when they were in that ego stage, they could have been chasing temporary satisfaction. They could have been chasing hookups and sex and like a very meaningless situations and flings and stuff, or just living, you know, very like surface level life in that sense. I think they're realizing that true happiness and true emotional fulfillment comes from within. They're also realizing, with two kids on this card, they're also realizing that like you could have everything in this world. You could have money, you could have fame, you could have power, but if you don't have that emotional stability by your side, like does any of that even matter? Or like if you don't have that happiness, whether it's within yourself or within a connection with a soulmate, it like does it even matter? You know, like I think they're realizing the materialistic things of life, they just don't matter as they once thought it did. And now, for you, I feel like what you're learning is that you are the prize. You are the prize, and that you will not settle and you would not stoop to lower levels. You know, like you are the prize, and whoever is meant to come into your life, they have to meet you on your level. I also think you're very happy within yourself, and you know yourself really well right now, group one, and you know exactly the type of life you want. And I do think you're actively creating the life of your dreams, or you're creating the foundation and the success and the long-term stability for yourself. And if somebody's going to come in, they better match it, because they're not going to ruin what you have done. 33 on the time. I love it. So I think you both are definitely learning different aspects of that. Let's see. What is one specific sign the universe is giving them about you? Okay, that was quick. There's this duality again. The Hanged Man and the Four of Swords both talk about a period of rest. And in both of these cards in this deck, there is a person there. So a specific sign the universe is giving them about you, it's definitely like you are their comfort through a turbulent situation that they're going through. That they also find you when they're in a period of rest. Whenever their mind is chaotic or their life is chaotic or whatever, in that energy, it just feels like that's actually when they're getting farther away from you energetically. But whenever they're at peace and they're actually healing and doing like internal work, that's how they get closer to you energetically. And I think that is also something the universe is using for them, because they're like, well, you know, this person doesn't exist in the chaos, they exist in the peace. But they definitely are like finding you as an energetic support system right now. Yellow butterflies could be significant, a specific sign that they're seeing about you, or white flowers. but it really feels like Empress energy too. The universe is like showing them this like Empress type of like an individual who is independent, beautiful, self-sufficient, who is smart and wise and nurturing and loving and caring. And I think the universe is using that to say, well, let's work on all of your internal things before you can achieve somebody like that, or get to be in a relationship with somebody like that. But yeah, I also think the universe is telling them that you can't be bought, you can't be chased down, you have to be earned, and that you are a prize and not a possession. So it's like the universe is really telling this person, like, this is a high value man or woman, and you can't just go and buy them. You can't just go and, like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be earned in an energetic manner. Okay, that is everything I'm seeing for our super in-depth reading, 36 minutes here on YouTube. So now we're going to look at the 3D reality in the extended. We're going to look at what would their soul / higher self say to you if they could speak freely. What is the very next action they're planning to take? And then I'm going to see who will initiate any type of like a union or reunion with this person. Is it going to be you, them, or spirit? We'll see, is this your life partner or a short-term connection? Meaning, like, was this more of a catalyst or like a healing for you? Or is this a life partner that will eventually come back long-term? We'll see, where is this connection headed over the next 3 months? So I'll give you some kind of a time frame, and that goes down here too. So time frame, signs, synchronicities, places, anything like that, anything more specific about any of the union, reunion, or things like that about this connection. So that's what I'm seeing. If you're interested in the extended, it's in the description below. It's actually going to go up on Patreon. So on Patreon, there's 2 different tiers. You can join the second tier, which is where you get access to all of my extendeds that I post monthly and access to all of our in-depth readings on Patreon. So just be careful, because the first tier only has in-depth readings and it does not have the extendeds. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's totally okay. The extended is available for a one-time sale. Again, it's all on Patreon, so it's available for a one-time sale if you're interested. But if not, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me give you this reading. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. And yeah, you guys, I feel so good about you, and specifically like group 1's energy. I feel so good about you, and you, this High Priestess, and the 10 of Pentacles, and the Sun. And I think you're totally on the right path. So thank you so much. And if you want to book a private reading with me, my email is in the description. Go ahead and email me. But thank you so much, and I'll either see you in the extended or I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. If you chose this Fool with the Landscapes Tarot and this blue Caribbean calcite, this is your group. Hello, group number 2. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of your support here on my channel, whether it's your first time here or if you have watched my readings before. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. Let's go over our breakdown. So like I said, there is an extended. I'll talk about the extended after our YouTube reading, but pretty much here on YouTube, we're looking at the 5D connection between you and this divine counterpart. So we're going to start off with an energy check to see who is this person. We're going to see, do they feel your energy right now? Do they know it's you by name / energy, or is it just a feeling? What is stopping / blocking them from reaching out in the 3D? How are you feeling them / this connection? What are you both currently learning about each other / this connection? And we'll see what is one specific sign the universe is giving them about you. So super in-depth, we're going to see pretty much all about the 5D aspects of this connection, and then we will shift into the extended, which talks about the 3D aspect of this connection. So let me move this to the side. And we're going to start off, I just saw 1, 2, 3 on the time. We're going to start off with the energy check here. So if this doesn't sound like a person on your mind, or if this doesn't sound like somebody that you think would be your divine counterpart, then definitely go ahead and check out a different group. But let's go ahead and see who is a divine counterpart that's coming in for group 2. Ooh, I think about us a lot. Okay. Okay, very straightforward. Passion. 7 of Swords. Venus. Ooh, and look at the orange. There's the orange here, and orange is, I think this is the solar plexus. Or no, solar plexus is yellow. This is the sacral chakra. Ooh, okay, first of all, they are feeling a lot of feelings towards you. There's a lot of like sexual energy here, especially with the solar plexus and even with I think about us. Sorry, I keep saying solar plexus with the sacral chakra and the I think about us a lot. I feel like this person has like nighttime thoughts and visions and fantasies about you. I feel like they also fantasize about like your physical appearance a lot, or there's a lot of like built up sexual tension here. Now, if it's not sexual and that's not the type of relationship that you would have with this person, then it just feels like there's a lot of like passion and it's just like building up and there's like nowhere to put it. So it's like kind of frustrating. Like the passion turns into this frustration for this person. It is definitely like tailored to you and like targeted because of you and at you, but they don't know where to put this passion. Earth with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, we have persistence, patience, and practicality. Okay, very interesting energy here. So we have Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They could have that in their big three. They could also have that just anywhere in their chart. This is Aquarius. This is a moon in Aquarius. So they could have like moon in Aquarius with sun or rising in an earth sign. Also, their Venus could be in Aquarius. Their Venus could be in an earth sign. Okay, so who is this person? This person is very practical, they're very realistic, and they're very down to earth. I feel like this is probably not a super spiritual person. Even with Aquarius here, Aquarius is not very spiritually tapped in. It's not very intuitive. It's very realistic. It's very logical. It's very analytical. It's like I see what I believe and I believe what I see. And I think there's something about this connection that like forces them to look outside of the box or feel outside of the box. And I think that's something that also causes frustration for this person. This is somebody who strategizes with that Aquarius energy. They work hard. They're not very loud. This is a more of like a behind the scenes kind of a person. They don't fight. They're not violent. They're not loud. They're not like in your face. You know how some people's personality, they're just like very loud and like people notice them. This energy is like they kind of hang out in the background. They kind of like, but they like that. They like to just blend into the background. I think they're very, very intelligent. They're very strategic with all the moves they make. They could actually play chess or they could enjoy things that require strategy. I don't know. I can't think of anything else other than chess right now, but they kind of hang out in the background. And I don't think they speak unless they really feel like they need to speak or unless they're like called upon. But they're very, very smart. I feel like this person could be in some kind of an academic field, or it's like they're in like business, they're in health, they could be in like law, but it feels like whatever they are studying or whatever they work into or working towards, it requires you to be pretty intelligent. I feel like this is not your average intelligence. This is like coding, this is like very, I mean, you would have to have a lot of like brain power to kind of do what this person does. I think this person loves to read. They love to use their brain. I think their brain is probably like one of their favorite muscles. I don't know why it's coming through like that because they read a lot. They love to absorb information. They love to learn new things. They're always learning new things. They're always like reading about things and researching things. Even if it's like just for fun, they're just like researching stuff. Okay, this passion, this sacral chakra card here, it's interesting. I feel like they have this interesting dynamic about them to where they're kind of like nerdy, quote unquote, right? Like we love nerdy. We love that whatever the stereotype of nerdy is. It's like they look a certain type of way on the outside. And because they're so smart, you wouldn't think that they are creative, but they actually are very creative. And like for the like when someone is very much like, because it's not in a bad way, but when somebody just looks a certain type of way and they look like really smart, And you would think that maybe they like lack flavor. I don't know why it's coming through like this, you guys. I swear, I'm a nice person. I'm not trying to be mean, but like you get to know them and you're like, oh my god, like you're kind of spicy. Like you know what I mean? Like they are kind of spicy on the inside, or they have this passion, or even like that sexual energy. You kind of like see them as like that like dorky person that's like that you wouldn't expect them to have little devil horns beneath the surface, and they're just like reading a book in the library and that's like their thing. But then it's like when it's demon time, I mean, they're like transformed into like a 360 energy. You know what I mean? Like there's something about their physical image, or like what they do for work, or the fact that they're very quiet and they kind of hang out in the background and they like to blend in and they don't like to be center of attention. It's like that dynamic, but then beneath the surface they're either like very talented, very creative, which kind of is not what they do. Like say if this person works, I don't know, you know what I mean, like they maybe work kind of obviously to them their job is not boring, but I think society would view what they do as boring. Like I'm thinking about a librarian, okay? So like society, right? Like they probably view librarians as like super quiet and like soft spoken and maybe kind of a boring job to like sit at the library all day. But there's something about like on the outside they kind of come off like that. But they're fine with that because they don't want attention. They don't want people to know that they're secretly they got demon time underneath the surface. Like they don't want people to know that. So it's like they're happy to kind of hide in plain sight. But once you get to know them, you realize they're very creative, they're very talented, they got little devil horns, and I think you would be totally shocked by like that flip that can happen within them. And I think that is something that keeps you and other people that get to that level, because I don't think they expose that to just anybody, but I think it keeps you on your toes. It's making also like the creative energy is making me think of a musician. Um, like say they are this librarian like during the day, but then if there's like a piano that's available, they're literally like playing the piano like a classical pianist. You know, there's something about like, whoa, like I didn't know you had that talent. Like you're so quiet and soft spoken and kind of hide in the background. Like I didn't know you're like a legendary piano player. I didn't know that you have such a passion for music, or like you're so talented, or you're so creatively gifted, or that you had these devil horns. There's something about like beneath the surface, there's so much more to this person, and it really intrigues you. You're like, what? You're like, okay, I need to like it's like a mystery for you to solve. You're like, I need to figure out more about you. And because they're maybe quiet and shy and they are so reserved, it's like they make you work for it. But I think you're very fascinated by this person. I think not only by like that flip that happens with them, but also I think you're very, why am I talking about you to them? This is so interesting because I'm trying to talk about them, but I keep feeling like this is how you react to them. But I was going to say you're also very physically attracted to them. Anyway, um with this, I think about us a lot. I think that again, this person is probably very soft spoken, or maybe they even beat around the bush. Like there's sometimes it's kind of hard for them to talk about their feelings because they're very practical, they're very realistic and analytical, and sometimes their emotions kind of overpowers the logic, and like logically they can't put something into words, or like sometimes they have a hard time, like it's easier for them to have like a stone cold face. I just saw 1111, and it's easier for them to like be analytical versus, oh, these are my feelings, this is how I feel about you. Like it's very tough, or it's a little difficult for this person to tap into their emotions, let alone tell you how they're feeling. Because with this, I feel like there's a lot of built up emotions and love or passion or frustration or something. There's something that has just been building because they're unable to express it verbally to you. And because of that, I do think for a lot of you, you know who this person is. Maybe you're friends with them. And that's the other thing too. I feel like you wouldn't immediately think that this person is interested in you. So maybe you're like friend zoned. Like both of you are friend zoned, but it's because they haven't fully said, "Hey, I care about you. I like you. I'm having these nighttime thoughts about you." Like they haven't told you that. And I think they hide it really well. So for a lot of you, I think like this could be a friend where you're like, what? Like, you like me? Like, you got feelings for me? Like, and I think you would be very shocked if they ever express themselves to you in that way. There's something about like the friend zone here, or acquaintances. Even if you're not friends, maybe you're like in the same class together. Maybe you're in the same lab. Maybe you go to the same library. There's something about like, I see you from a distance, or like we're acquaintances to some extent, but I would never have assumed that you are interested in me romantically or sexually. Like you would have never put two and two together because they're so quiet and reserved and kind of hang out in the back. I also think this person plans everything, with this Earth here, and then with the strategic energy that they have with this Aquarius. They plan everything. They're very meticulous, like down to the little details of their daily routine, of what they're getting done, and even they like categorize their emotions and their logic. And so I think something about this connection with you, or like you to them, it's like they can't categorize it logically, and that like throws them off whenever they can't put something into like these. I'm seeing them as like slots, like like mail dividers. They have different slots for different feelings and emotions and stuff, and whenever they can't put something into a designated slot, it builds this like, not fear, but it builds like a lack of control. And I think something about this connection with you, they have lost control over themselves. With Venus here, I do think this person could be very beautiful, genuinely very beautiful. Venus is about beauty. Venus is also Empress, divine feminine energy. So they could be very like objectively beautiful. Or there could be something very unique about this person that not everyone is drawn to, but like you could be drawn to it. But I do think Venus, I do think they have like some natural beauty to them. Now, this person could be kind of insecure as well, because even with this Venus and them having that beauty, I think that's another reason they hide behind logic, or they hide behind this strategy that they build into their daily life, because they're a little insecure, or yeah, they're like, for some reason they're a little insecure. And you would think that they wouldn't be insecure, right? Like maybe they're so smart, they're so gifted, they're so pretty, they on the outside they look like somebody that has it all together. But on the inside, I think you would again be shocked to know that they're actually kind of insecure about themselves or about their appearance. Okay, I have some dice here. Let's get a little bit more on who this person is for group 2. We have the moon, we have the first house, and we have Taurus. They could be a Taurus moon. Venus is Libra and Taurus energy. And Taurus is here too. So we have Taurus out here 3 times. They could have Taurus in the 7th house. They could have Venus in Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They could have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in 7th house. Venus in Taurus. Venus in the first house in Taurus, moon in Taurus, moon, Venus, moon, and whoa, it changed to Aquarius. I mean, not Aquarius, sorry, Uranus. Moon and Venus in first house. Yeah, they're very realistic. They're very practical. They're not like delusional. There's something very straightforward and by the book, because even if they have moon in an earth sign, whether it's Taurus or whether it's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they're very realistic. Moon in an earth sign is like the auditor. It's like it needs receipts, it needs proof, it needs structure. It's not delusional, and it doesn't get caught up in the woo-woo of the spiritual side of things, or the dreaming and the fantasizing. Like, they're very realistic. They probably don't allow themselves to fantasize. So yeah, if they do have moon in, wait, but this is also moon. Okay, they could have moon in Aquarius, or they could have moon in an earth sign, but either way, moon in Aquarius would make them very strategic and analytical. Moon in earth would make them realistic and they need receipts and they need proof and they don't necessarily daydream. First house is also their rising. So they could have an earth rising. Maybe they share the same rising and moon sign. But again, with earth, okay, so if they have a rising sign in an earth sign, such as Taurus, then rising is how the world sees them, how they present themselves to the world on the outside, which would make sense that they look very grounded and down to earth and practical on the outside. Anything else? Let me see. Moon, Cancer energy. They could have Cancer in the first house. But also about their first house, this is about them. This is how they present themselves to the world. It's about their self. It's about their identity, their appearance. It's about the first impressions they make. It's like the mask that they have on their face and how the world views them. I think for one, they're still figuring out who they are. There is this insecurity that I'm sensing from this person. So it's like they're working on how they present themselves to the world. They're working on their physical body. Maybe they're working out, eating healthier, changing up their aesthetic or their appearance. With Venus in the first house, I think this person sometimes struggles to love their body, like something about their physical body. I don't know if they have like a unique birthmark, or I don't know if they have like something about their body that's like they can't change, and they've always struggled with loving that aspect of their physical body, like a birthmark, or like something that you can't just like cosmetically change. And even if they could cosmetically change it, maybe it's just too expensive and like not everyone can afford cosmetic procedures. So it's like they're trying to get comfortable with something about their physical body and about how they present themselves to the world. So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of like soul searching and a little bit of insecurity coming through with them. But I also think the way they do present themselves to the world is very different. It's also making you think of somebody that wears like baggy clothing. Like they wear baggy clothing, or they don't put a lot of effort into their, and not that they're like a bum, but they just kind of just throw whatever on, or they like wear oversized clothing. Because there's something here about like, you would be, okay, I don't know why all these messages keep going back to like physical things, such as like their body. But it's like, for example, somebody that wears baggy clothing, but they have like a very beautiful body, but like they don't feel secure in that body, even though you and like anyone who has seen their body would be like, wow, like I love your curves, or I love whatever, like you're so attractive. Like people would see their body and think they're very attractive, but to them, they don't think their body is attractive, or something about their body, they want to hide it. So then they like cover it up. And they're not necessarily covering it up because of religious purposes, or because of like, like it's not because like it's coming from a place of like insecurity for them to cover themselves up a lot, or like hide behind that clothing or hide behind that mask. But it's like, if you were to see their body, I think I think a lot of people would think, oh wow, like you are very attractive, very beautiful, but like they don't see that about themselves. And if they are as insecure in a sense as they are coming through, it makes sense why they hide in the background. It makes sense why they don't want to be center of attention. It makes sense why they keep a lot of things beneath the surface. And it also makes sense that they haven't like approached you. Maybe they're too scared. Maybe they feel like you're out of their league, or they're too intimidated to approach you. Very interesting. So, okay, let's get into the deck. I will answer the questions now of who is this person. It feels like they have a select few people in their life that they do, are their true selves with, like maybe friends or family. But I think for the rest of the world, they kind of just not slither, but they kind of just like, they move in silence. Like it's like a cat. You wouldn't even hear them. You wouldn't even know them. Like they kind of just do their things in silence. Okay. For one, Number one, do they feel group two's energy right now? Does this person feel group two's energy right now? Does this person feel group two's energy right now? Also, I feel like this could be a guy or a girl. I'm not seeing a specific gender. Six of Wands. Oh, wow. So, ooh, Nine of Swords. Okay. They definitely feel your energy, but they're very scared. Like, they're literally so intimidated. And this makes a lot of sense because the Six of Wands, this is Jupiter in Leo. They definitely think that you are out of their league. And because they think about, and they obviously think about you a lot. Like, we already know that. This person is hardcore crushing, hardcore secret admirer. Maybe for some of you, you already know that they're crushing on you. But it definitely feels like a secret. Even with the Seven of Swords. I mean, it feels like they're not sharing this on the outside. So they definitely know who you are and they definitely are feeling you, but they are very, very afraid of approaching you because they feel like you're out of their league. They feel like you're too different from them. Maybe you're too pretty or too handsome for them. Their insecurities are telling them that you are too good for them and that they would never be able to be with somebody like you. And that's why this is staying in their thoughts, because they feel like they would get rejected and they get very anxious and overwhelmed thinking about admitting this to you. But they definitely, I mean, they are definitely crushing hard. They definitely like know you. They know of you. They could also follow you on social media, but this feels like, you know, like when you're like in school. I haven't been in school in a long time, but like, you know, when you're like in class and there's like that really cute like popular kid in class that like all the girls, all the guys are crushing over this popular kid. That's what it feels like to them. They feel like you are so out of their league and you're the person that everyone wants. And because you're the popular kid and you have a lot of friends or you have a lot of acquaintances and everyone is attracted to you and everyone admires you, they're like, well, then why would they date me? I'm a nobody. I'm a wallflower. That's what it is. They're a wallflower. So then they're like, well, why would they want to be with a wallflower? They could go be with anyone, you know, so they wouldn't choose me. There's a sense of like they belittle the situation because it's like a defense mechanism and they tell themselves, this is not realistic because group two would never choose me. So there's no point in pursuing this further because I would just get hurt and I would just look silly. And especially say if you are in school together or you work together or you see each other on a regular basis, then they're not going to jeopardize that. Like, because that would be awkward, right? It's like, say if you have to be in a lab partners for the rest of the year or something. So if they told you, hey, lab partner, I have a big crush on you and you're not interested in them, then they still have to be your lab partner for the rest of the year. And that is kind of like very, you know, it's very anxious. It's very like an anxious energy for them because they're like, well, if I get rejected, then I have to be in this class for the rest of the year. I have to work here for who knows how long. Like I have to be a part of this person's like circle. And because of that, I'm afraid. But for some reason, I think that like even if they put you on a pedestal, and even if you wouldn't react like this to them, their defense mechanism is telling them that you would react like this to them, or this is already how it'll play out, which is why they're keeping it hidden. This is also, or no, this is Gemini. This is Mars in Gemini. This person really overthinks a lot. They probably have anxiety. They probably have undiagnosed anxiety for some of you because I feel like they have never, I don't know if it's like they've never tried to get help for their anxiety or they're like not on anxiety medication. There's something here to where their anxiety, they have like rippling effects of anxiety. They have very, very intense anxiety, but I don't think they've ever thought about getting help for it. So they kind of just cope with it. but I think their anxiety kind of ruins a lot of things for them. Anyway, so yeah, that is, so yes, they feel you very heavily. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Do they know that it's you by name, or is it just feeling? They definitely know it's you. This is somebody that you interact with on a regular, somewhat of a regular basis, but I'll ask, does this person know group 3 by name? I mean, sorry, not group 3, group 2 by name. Yes, they definitely know you by name. Not only do they know you by name, but they know you as queen or king. I mean, they they put you on a pedestal. I don't know what it is. Maybe for some of you, you have some kind of a friendship with them. And it doesn't even have to be a deep friendship. We'll go back to that example of lab partners. You know, you have to interact with them, right? So it's like they do know you to some extent, even if you're not best friends. And they already put you on a pedestal because of the interactions they already have with you. And the Nine of Cups, I mean, this is ultimate happiness and ultimate fulfillment. So even though the thought of approaching you and being honest to you about their feelings puts them in like this intense, deep pit of anxiety, you also make them so happy at the same time, which is exactly why they don't want to jeopardize it. Maybe they love talking to you in class. Maybe they love hanging out and having lunch with you at work. Maybe they love being your lab partner. There's something here on like, they make me so happy that I don't want to jeopardize and lose what I have with them, even if it's like the bare minimum of just like lab partners or like distant acquaintances. It's like, I don't even want to lose that because even that is so emotionally fulfilling to me. But in a sense, it's sweet, I guess, but in a sense, it is kind of a toxic way of approaching it because they're approaching it out of fear and they're allowing themselves to settle for the bare minimum. It's like they're being emotionally fulfilled by the bare minimum when, I don't know, you know, I'm not here to dissect them and I'm also not here to like be their therapist today, but yeah, I feel like there's some issues that come along with if you're doing that long term. Anyway, they definitely know you by name. But not only by name, they know you as king or queen. It's like this whale is them, and this like this swirl, whatever this is, that, or no, sorry, this is them, and this swirl is you. And it's like they are just so sucked into your orbit at this point that like they are so infatuated, they're crushing so hard, they're daydreaming so hard. And they're just like sucked into your orbit. Like they can't escape your orbit. Even if they try to rationalize it and try to like walk away from the connection, they can't. And it's like after a period of drought, they finally found water, which is you. After a period, maybe years, months or years of emotional drought, emotional dryness, like this desert being their heart, something that was isolated, something that was deprived of moisture, of water. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like when they're in an emotional drought, out of nowhere, you are the ocean that came in, and they just got so sucked up into the ocean, which is you. And it's like they are so afraid to lose it because they don't want to go back to that drought that they were in. But because they're not fully expressing something to you, it's kind of an unhealthy way of coping with it. So I'm interested to see in the extended if this person is actually going to like do anything in the 3D to come out of, or to like say what they need to say. Okay, let's keep going. What is stopping / blocking them from reaching out to you? What is blocking this person from expressing their feelings to group 2? What is blocking this person? Yeah, I mean, it's like already what I said. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. It just feels like it wouldn't be reciprocated. The Lovers, look at that. They feel like there's this gap and it wouldn't be reciprocated. And they're just happy to just exist in your proximity and they're happy to just exist in your water because it's like, it's like they're almost settling for just existing in your energy because they're afraid that you won't reciprocate. They're also afraid that they don't have enough to give you. For some reason, it's like they're either very insecure about their physical appearance and like their body and maybe even their personality, but they're also insecure maybe about their finances. Maybe they feel like somebody like you with that Jupiter in Leo, maybe you want somebody that has a lot of money. Maybe you want somebody, or this is from them. They're thinking group 2 probably wants somebody who's like a businessman, businesswoman, somebody who makes a lot of money a year, somebody who's very financially stable. And I think that's also an insecurity that is keeping them from pursuing a relationship with you. An example I can give you is like somebody who thinks that they're not working in the right job. The example that's coming through is like fast food, which I'm not hating on fast food, but that's what it feels like. It feels like, say if, okay, here's a great example to like bridge the worlds together. Say you are like a businessman or a businesswoman, okay? But say there is a coffee shop that you go to every morning to get your coffee. This person could be the barista at that coffee shop. So they interact with you on a regular basis, but they know that you're like this hotshot businesswoman or businessman. Maybe you are famous, maybe you have a status, maybe you're like well known, like you have money, you have fame, you have reputation, but they are like, to them, well, I'm just a person, the barista. I'm just here to make your coffee every morning. So they feel like there's a status, there's a disconnect within the status of both of you. And because of that, they become very insecure. They're like, well, this is a hot shot. They wouldn't want to be with a low-level barista. You know what I mean? Like for some reason, that's how they're thinking. And that is the blockage. So their blockage could be physically, like their body, and they feel like you are physically out of their league somehow, but it could even be financially. They feel like you are out of their league. You would never be with somebody who's just a barista at a coffee shop. You want like a businessman, a businesswoman to match your business status or your wealth. Wow, okay. And that actually is very interesting because if you do go to like the same cafe every day or the same restaurant occasionally, like if you visit someplace often, I think that's where this person is. Because they get enough of like that emotional fulfillment because they see you on a regular basis somehow. And they get like a high off of it. Okay, that's a blockage. And it just feels like they couldn't provide the lifestyle that you want. They couldn't provide the relationship that you want. So then how are you feeling about them and or this connection? How is group 2 feeling about them? Justice and the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords in the reverse. You think they're interesting. You feel like there is something about them that is interesting, but you don't know them that well. With the Knight of Swords in the reverse, it feels like there's a lot of unknowns. Like, I don't know you, I don't really talk to you that well, but when you do see them, you're intrigued. You're like, who is this? You know, like, I think maybe if you had the opportunity, you would want to talk to them a little bit more, but you don't have all the information. But I think you're intrigued by them, and they do stand out to you to some extent, but there is like zero communication, or at least zero like beneath the surface level communication between the two of you. With Justice here, you could actually find yourself thinking about them, like randomly thinking about them sometimes, or maybe you're manifesting them for some of you. If you know who this is and you do reciprocate, then it's possible that you are manifesting them because you actually want to talk to them and you want to get to know them better. So then, what are you both currently learning about each other / this connection? What are they both current? 2 of Pentacles. Hmm. Let's clarify. Let's clarify the Two of Pentacles. The Star. Aquarius energy. There's so much Aquarius energy here. I wouldn't be surprised if either you or this person have a lot of Aquarius in your chart. But what you're learning about each other in the connection, Two of Pentacles and the Star. Okay, this person is learning that if they don't act on this, then it will forever remain a fantasy. And it will forever just remain a wish upon a star. It'll forever remain a daydream or a fantasy if they don't physically act on it and tell you or do something about it. They are realizing, but they're also learning that they have to come out of their comfort zone, whether it works or not. They have to come out of their comfort zone because if they don't, this will forever stay a fantasy. That is what they are meant to learn out of this, is to have confidence within themselves and to come out of that comfort zone. And what you are meant to learn out of this, maybe it's the same thing, because I'm not getting more messages. I think for both of you, there's this message of like, if we don't act, it'll never happen. I'm totally going to quote, excuse me, I'm totally going to quote Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's exactly what I think this feels like for both of you. Especially if you are also curious about them, you're also manifesting them to some extent. Something has to be done, or else it'll never progress to anything more. A specific message for group 2 that you are meant to learn from this connection is to broaden your horizons and be open-minded to people that you wouldn't normally be open-minded to in regards to relationships. So say maybe they are right to some extent that you are some kind of a hotshot, or like you have like a very specific type of person that you would date. And this person doesn't fit that type for you. Even if you are feeling a pull, they don't fit the type. So then for you, Spirit is saying, well, if you're always just going to chase your specific type, you're going to miss out on all of the wonders of the world. Like you're going to miss out on all of the cool, unique, interesting people out there because they don't fit the mold you're seeking. Say like, for example, you always date an athlete. I don't know, like you're always dating like an athlete, or you're always dating somebody that like has blonde hair, blue eyes, like I don't know, right? Like you have a type of a very specific type and you're always going for that type. For you, Spirit is saying, well, there's some treasures that are sitting out here in your everyday life or right in front of you that don't fit your type. But if you don't go after it, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss the treasures. So there is something here that they're also not your type 100%. So maybe this person is almost right to feel like you, not that you would reject them, but feel like, yeah, like they probably wouldn't be into me. Because I think for you, you have to venture outside of your normal type that you normally go for. It's kind of like food. You know, there's a lot of good food in this world, but if you're only eating pizza 24/7, then you're missing out on Asian food, you're missing out on Mexican food, on Indian food, Korean food. Like you're missing out on so many types of foods because you're only eating pizza all day long, every day, for all 3 meals. There's something here where Spirit is talking to you specifically as in like, do you just want to eat pizza forever? Or do you want to go venture out and see what other foods there are? You want to try sushi today? You want to try, you want to try baklava tomorrow? Like, now I'm thinking of the randomest things, but it's like, you know what I mean? I think that's your lesson. So in a way, both of you are being asked to come out of your comfort zone. Okay. Now, is there one specific sign the universe is giving them about you? Is there one specific sign the universe is giving this person about group 2? Ooh, the Hanged Man. The Hermit? Yeah, the Hermit. Look at that. That literally feels like come out of the cave. Come out of your comfort zone. Come out of your cave. Signs are definitely pointing to you. There's like, yeah, like even this shooting star, there's like some kind of a light. There's some kind of like a glow, like the path is being lit from them to you. But I think they're so afraid of their own insecurities, or they're so afraid of rejection. And but spirit is really like pulling them towards you subconsciously, but their 3D self is very much fighting it or afraid of it, or they're trying to dismiss it. Yeah, very interesting. I'm very curious about like what is happening here. Like, is this a lesson? Is this something where both of you step out of your comfort zone and it is your soulmate? Like, you know what I mean? So, okay, this is what I'm seeing for this YouTube part. So now we're gonna go into the extended. Yellow fish could be a sign also, like Atlantis. This immediately made me think of Atlantis. Could be a specific sign for them about you. Also a cave, and them coming out of the cave is like some kind of a sign. Okay, so now in the extended, we're going to look at the 3D reality. We're going to see what would their soul / higher self say to you if it could speak freely. What is the very next action they're planning on taking? Who will initiate either the next steps or a union? Is it you, them, or spirit? Is this your life partner or some kind of a short-term catalyst? Where is this connection headed in the next 3 months? And we'll also get time frames, signs, synchronicities, and anything else spirit wants you to know about the 3D aspect about this connection. So that's what I'm seeing. If you're interested in the extended, it is linked in the description below. It is available for a one-time purchase, and it is also available on the second tier on Patreon. So if you're going to join as the subscription, make sure you choose the right tier. But if you don't want to go to the extended, that's totally fine. You can, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I don't know. I just blanked out. I don't know what I was about to say. If you want to book a private reading with me, my email is in the description. Go ahead and email me. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Whether I see you on the extended or if this is where I'm leaving you off, take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Four of Swords with the pink Rider-Waite Tarot and this rose quartz crystal, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here. Whether it's your first time on my channel or if you have watched my readings before, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. Let's go over our breakdown. So, like I said, this is all about your divine counterpart and do they feel this connection. So here on YouTube, we're going to be looking at the 5D aspect, and in the extended, we're going to be looking at the 3D aspect. So I'll talk about the extended at the end of our reading, but here on YouTube, we're going to start off with an energy check to see who is this person that is coming through for you today. We'll see, do they feel your energy right now? Do they know that it's you by name / energy, or is it just a feeling for them? We'll see what is stopping / blocking them from reaching out in the 3D, or like things progressing in the 3D on their end. We'll see how are you feeling about them and this connection. What are you both currently learning about each other and this connection? And then we'll also see what is one specific sign that the universe is giving them about you in their current energy. So we're going to be diving into this part of the reading now. So I'm excited to get into it. There was a sense of like, how do I describe this energy? When I was thinking about your group today, because like the first thing on my schedule today, you know, after my morning routine and all of that was group 3. So it's like I already knew that I was going to be recording group 3 today, and I was just like sitting with your energy and thinking about it just throughout my morning. And even last night I was thinking about group 3. I don't know why. Like I just felt like, oh, like I can't wait to get back to group 3, or like I can't wait to sit down and record for group 3. So there was this like joy, and this, I was very like happy, and I was very fulfilled. And I don't know if that was like your energy like rubbing off, or like the energy of this connection that's like very like wholesome and happy, and it just feels so good and like warm and cozy. I don't know. Or maybe that was just me, right? Like I think maybe it's just like a sense of happiness. Maybe you're happy with where you are in life, because I think like what I was feeling is like, oh, I can't, like for one, I think I'm still in shock that like people watch my readings because I started my YouTube channel years ago. I started my tarot reading years ago, and it like didn't take off for years. And I think now that it's finally taking off, I'm in this energy of like, oh, people are actually listening to me, when it didn't really happen like that for a long time. Or maybe I had like one person watch my video, you know, a while ago. But there's just something about like just being so happy with where you are in life, and you don't need an external thing to like fulfill you, because you're already fulfilled within yourself. I think that is actually like a better way to describe this, because like I was feeling that about like my business, but then I also felt like I think group 3 is also feeling this way, where you're just whole in life on your own. And it's interesting because you chose this card, which is a period of rest. You know, the 4 of Swords is, it's nothing, like nothing's happening. You're still, you're stagnant, but it feels like a good period of rest between you and this person. Maybe if this is somebody that you know, maybe you've been on a break or just not in contact for a very long time. Or if this was like somebody you were in a relationship with, maybe it's a period of rest and it's been like this for a while. But I feel like you are very whole and content on your own. And excuse me. Oh my God, I hate burping when I have my microphone on because I feel like my mic picks up everything. But okay, excuse me. But it's like you've grown a lot, because I think the person you used to be, if this person was in your life at some point in time, or even if they weren't, I think your energy towards love and relationships when you were like younger, or like, you know, in a previous version of yourself, I think you needed that love and connection or a specific person to fulfill you and to make you whole. And maybe you were always like chasing love and relationships or a person because of that. But it feels like during this period of rest, or just during your own internal transformations, you've grown so much to where this person doesn't necessarily, like nobody has to fill a void within you, because you already filled that void within yourself. So if there is a counterpart and you are in a period of rest, whether you know this person or you don't, I think you're still so happy. 444 on the time as I'm saying that. And even the heart, the rose quartz here feels like your heart chakra, and just your self-love and your self-care. And even this 4 of Swords can talk about, you know, maybe you're on a break from dating in general right now, and you're just kind of doing your own thing, and you're not really looking for love. Like you're open to it, but you're not like chasing it. So yeah, it feels good. I really like this energy. I feel like you're very mature, or you've recently evolved a lot about certain aspects when it comes to love and it comes to your heart. So yeah. Okay, so let's get onto our group. So I have a ton of cards here, and actually you guys got an extra one. These two came out together, so I kept them together, but we're gonna look at the energy check of the soulmate, or not soulmate. Oh, that's interesting, because I think I accidentally said soulmate earlier for this group too, but this divine counterpart, whoever this is that's coming in for this group, this is going to be their energy, so that way you can know if this is your group or not. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's see, who is group 3's divine counterpart? I want to believe. Creation. Judgment. Oh, wow. Okay. Creation and judgment. Creation is your crown chakra here, or this person's crown chakra energy. And judgment. And I want to believe. Okay. Okay, yeah, these are the ones that came out together. We have Sagittarius and Virgo. And the South Node, destined to release. Okay, let me kind of spread these out for a second and sit with this. So, okay, this person could have Sag in their big 3. They could have a Sag stellium. They could also have a Virgo stellium or Virgo in their big 3. Their South Node could be in Virgo, or their North Node could be in Virgo. Um, and oh, this is a very specific. Sag is ninth house energy. Virgo, they could have Virgo in the ninth house. They could have their north node in the ninth house. Maybe they have their south node in the ninth house. Wait, is that possible? I don't know. But something about the ninth house in Virgo seems interesting because it's here. Virgo is sixth house, so maybe they have Sag in sixth house. Maybe south node is in sixth house. Okay, so we have creation. This is definitely like sixth sense energy. This person has a very active sixth sense. Judgment here, this is Pluto. Also, it could be Scorpio, it could be Mars. I feel like it could also be Aries, maybe. Yeah, Scorpio, Leo, or Aries, Mars energy. Oh, wow. Okay. This person is going through a massive, massive wake up call. They're going through a massive spiritual awakening. And I feel like for the first time in their life, they're finally aligning to their destined path in this lifetime. And it feels very spiritual. It feels like some kind of a karmic pattern that this person has been living throughout multiple lifetimes, because our south node is where we came from our previous life, and we are leaving that south node because it's the past, and we're stepping into our north node, which is our destiny in this lifetime. And it feels like okay, how do I describe this? It feels like whatever is their mission or whatever their destiny is in this lifetime, it's been their destiny for many lifetimes. Because a lot of times, it's very possible that in their previous lifetimes, they did not fulfill that destiny. And the south node it feels very heavy, to where it feels like their soul has been like, it has been with every reincarnation their soul went through, they were reliving that same karmic cycle and they were unable to break out of it. And it feels like in this lifetime, they are breaking out of it. And I think they're aware of that, or they're aware of like ending cycles in this lifetime. Now, this could be like very specific to like family, generational cycles through family, generational trauma. They're making sure they end generational trauma in this lifetime. But I think they are aware of their soul. They are aware of like maybe even their previous lives, because they have this sixth sense psychic energy. So I feel like this person, whether they're fully aware of it or not, in this lifetime, it's like making it known that they are going to end some kind of karmic patterns that their soul has been repeating, or end physical generational trauma, or like end something in this lifetime, whether it's through family, whether it's through love, whether it's from a previous lifetime. It's like they're making sure that they end it. Oh, actually, I totally forgot I have asteroid dice here. Let's see, what else can we get about this person? This person definitely doesn't mess around, because with creation, with judgment, with the south node energy of breaking out of the karmic pattern, it's like they do not mess around in this lifetime. I think they're very serious. We have Gemini, we have the moon, and we have the fourth house. Yeah, fourth house, they could have their south node. Actually, wait a second, if their north node is in the ninth house, I'm pretty sure their south node would be in the fourth house. So for some of you, that's like a very specific astrological placement. They could have their moon in Gemini. They could have their moon in their fourth house. Moon and fourth house actually is like the same energy, because that's Cancer, and the fourth house is ruled by Cancer. But also, because we have the fourth house here, for some of you, there's something to do with their family or their home life, their roots, their heritage, maybe even something to do directly with their mom, because fourth house and even Cancer energy rules the mom. But it's like in this lifetime, they're really healing generational trauma, or they're really working on something that has to do with their fourth house. They could have moon in Gemini. But what actually, I didn't even mean to look at these placements because I actually just wanted to set it down to talk about something. So I might roll these again. But what I was trying to say is they're not messing around. I think this person in this lifetime, they realize that they have the tools to make something happen, or they have the willpower and the drive within themselves to like finally live out their destiny in this lifetime. So not only do they have the physical tools that are, in their life that is finally aligning, because say in previous lifetimes, they could have had one side of this, but they didn't have the tools, right? Like say they always had a talent for something, which is their part of their destiny that they have to achieve in this lifetime, or like their soul's destiny. But say in like a previous lifetime, they had the talents, but they didn't have the resources. Maybe they had the talents, but they didn't have the money to pursue something, or they didn't have the exposure, or they weren't able to go and like get scouted or get noticed, or you know what I mean? Like it's like they always had this talent, or they always had this gift within them through many reincarnations of their soul, but it's like their soul did not have all the resources to take one and take the other and to make their destiny happen, but they do have that in this lifetime. That's what makes this lifetime stand out a lot more than their previous lifetimes, and that's why they're like so serious in this lifetime. I think this can still be a very like fun and lighthearted energy, and I think this is still a fun person to be around, but I think like for their career, I think their career and their destiny is very like intertwined, or like the person they want to be in this lifetime it's like it's like obviously it's intertwined in their destiny, but there's something here on like they're not going to let anyone just take it away from them. Like they're very serious. And actually, here's another intuitive hit I received when I was sitting down, but I thought it was me. Okay, there's a lot of messages that are going back to like what I thought was about my life, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about this group, it's like actually I was picking up intuitive messages about this group. Like when I was sitting down and I was shuffling and I was in that energy of like, oh, I love my life, I love my job, right? Like that gratitude that I was in before I sat down for this group, there was a message of whoever comes into my life has to fit into this life that I have created for myself. And that's exactly what I'm seeing for this person. It's like they have worked so hard to achieve certain things and goals and maybe a certain lifestyle. And it's like they worked so hard, and literally their soul has been trying to accomplish this for many lifetimes. So the fact that like they're finally able to achieve it in this lifetime, obviously they're not going to let anyone come in and take it away from them. And for them, it's like whoever they invite into their life as a soulmate or as a partner, you have to be able to like fit into what they have already built for themselves. I think that like if you go into their lifestyle or their career and their foundation and you try to change things, or you try to take them away from their purpose and force them to do something else, or force them to live an inauthentic life, I think this person would absolutely walk away, because they have worked so hard and their soul is definitely an old soul that like, you know what I mean? Like when you work so hard to build like imagine building a house. This person in this lifetime, they finally had all the tools and resources and the motivation, and the timing was perfect for them to build their dream house. And they built it from laying down every piece of brick and wood and everything from the basement all the way up, right? And it's interesting, the fourth house kind of is the basement of the birth chart and within a person's soul, but it's like they built everything. But then this like person, like somebody who's interested in dating them, or like somebody who wants to be in a relationship with this person, comes in and they're like, look at my house, like I built this house from scratch, like what do you think about my house? And clearly this person, they love their house, right? They put every sweat, ounce, tear, blood into it to build this house. And then this person just waltz in. It's like, I don't like the wallpaper, I don't like this, I don't like the way this is structured, I want to tear it down and I want to rebuild it. And I want you to do it for me. I want you to like forcefully tear down this structure and rebuild something. And this person is going to look at that person and be like, what? They're going to be like, please leave, the door is right there. Like you can come into my house and accept that this is my house and that I have built it, and like this is my life and I'm very happy and content and like this is me, or you can leave. Like I'm not going to change my life, especially the life that I built, for somebody who I just met, or somebody who can't come in and see what I have done or doesn't align with me in that sense. That's exactly their mindset. I just saw 11:11 on the time as I was saying that. Okay. I think a little bit about this person. Yeah, they have this serious side, right? Like they have this do or die energy to them because I think they're just tired. I think their soul is tired, and I think that you know what I mean? Like when you're tired and then you finally get to lay in bed under that warm blanket or like on your couch and you're finally snuggled up after a long day of work, like you're just tired. Like you're not going to get up and perform or get up and like go and be bossed around or whatever. So that's what their soul feels like. It feels like it's finally in a blanket, like in a warm position somewhere after a long many lifetimes of hard work. But they're still fun. And I think that with Sag and Virgo here, this is a very interesting combination because Virgo is sixth house. It's very day-to-day energy. It's very practical. It is an earth sign. It is very like, how do I describe this? It's all about being analytical, being perceptive. It's a very helpful energy. It really cares about the people around it. And with sixth house, it's that the daily service, daily habits, routines. It takes care of its health. It takes care of its physical body. It's also like brick by brick. Virgo really feels like brick by brick to me because Virgo in tarot is the seven, or not, sorry, it's not seven. It's the 8, 9, and 10 of Pentacles. And that is like the end goal. Like up until the 8, you're working really hard to establish something. But the 9 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo, you're sitting in your garden. You're luxurious, you're independent, you have the abundance, and you built that garden from a single seed. And then Virgo, the 10 of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo. So it's like this person is on their path. They definitely think long term. That's another reason they don't get swayed by like immediate impulses, immediate satisfaction, immediate gratification, or even like physical urges. Like they don't like, maybe sometimes they give into it, but it's kind of rare that they give into like this this human impulse, because I think they think about the long term of their life, the long term of their foundation, their structure, their career, their destiny. Even if they're just planting the seeds now, I mean, they know they're going to sit in that 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles garden and structure one day, so they definitely think about the brick by brick. They think about the long term, but I also think it's like they're very intentional with their day-to-day routine. They're very intentional with their habits and their schedules. But then we have Sag, which is kind of like the total opposite. Like if this is down to earth and it is a practical seed that is being planted, Sag is up in the clouds. It's up in the air. It is expansive. It's expansive as the universe is. And I think this person could actually butt heads within themselves because they have this very grounded, practical earth that takes it brick by brick, day by day. But then Sag, it's a free bird. I mean, it's universal, it's international, it's about higher level of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. It's about different cultures and different backgrounds, and it's about travel. And it's like Sag is very expansive. The ninth house is all about expansion and higher beliefs and long travel. So it's like I could see them kind of butting heads because like part of them wants to be in that grounded, practical, day-to-day, thinking about the long-term energy, but then they also have the soul. I think that's the contrast, and especially because these came out together. I think on the outside, they, okay, how do I describe that? Yeah, it's like on the outside, they could look very practical and realistic and like down to earth and hardworking because they are, but I think their soul, that actually makes a lot of sense. Their soul is so vast because it's an old soul. This soul has probably lived in multiple different countries, probably even in different worlds. I mean, their soul probably wasn't even on earth every single reincarnation. It's like they just come from an otherworldly experience. And I think the moment you kind of bypass their 3D structure, it's like they show you one side in the 3D, but then the moment they like open up that door for you to go past the 3D, it's like you're literally standing in the middle of the universe. It's like the floor is gone. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like there's a structure and you open the door and you walk in and it's just like stars and the universe and constellations, and like the depth of their soul is like right there behind that door. So it's like a bit, but they don't show that to everyone, to just anybody. I think that because they're such an old soul, they realize they realize that not everyone has that sixth sense that they have. Not everyone has this belief in this higher whatever this higher thing is that they believe in. It's not necessarily a religion, because I don't think this person is religious, but they're incredibly psychic and they're incredibly spiritual. But it's like, yeah, so they don't share this with just anybody. And I think that's how they can like bypass, in like, not bypass, maybe that's not the right word. They can like, and I don't want to say they can mask themselves, because I think they are very genuine in how they present themselves in the 3D. They're not putting out a fake persona of who they are in the 3D, but they keep it very 3D, like on the outside, and they keep it very like, okay, like this is work, this is brick by brick, like, you know what I mean? But it's like, if they actually want to let you in on that deeper layer of their life, then it's literally like an endless pit. But they don't share that with everyone or just anyone, because they know not everyone has that sixth sense. And also, I think this person is very selective with who they let into their life in general. I mean, we already said that, right? But not only in a relationship, but I think in friendships and in connections. And I think that they really protect themselves in this lifetime. They protect their energy, they protect their soul. You know what is so interesting? If you ever happen to know this person's birth chart, you should see if they have any. I'm hearing not okay. Seventh house, fourth house, but also if you don't know their houses, their planets of maybe specifically like Venus, because Venus is love, seventh house energy, or also Mars, drive, action, getting things done in this lifetime. They could have placements in the 29th degree, which is the very last degree that a sign can be in. And the moment it hits 29 degrees, then it moves over to 0. But if you know their exact birth time, you can figure out the degrees of their birth chart. And it feels like in this lifetime, that's why it feels so urgent. Like there's a need to get things done, because the 29th degree is the very last degree. I mean, it's literally like it's now. It's literally do or die, like right now. So they could have some 29 degree placements in their chart that makes something very urgent. And that's why they don't just like, that's why they're very serious and they're very long term, and they're like, I have to get things done. Like I have a mission, kind of an energy with them. And that's also why they don't really go for surface level relationships or hookups or flings or whatever. But what I was going to say is, with this, I want to believe, I think it's possible they could have seventh house or their Venus in 29 degrees, or like very close to 29 degrees, maybe like, I don't know, 26 to 29 degrees, which feels like in this lifetime, they're really meant to meet a specific soulmate. So in like previous lifetimes, it's possible that they remain single, or like they did not find their soulmate or their divine counterpart in previous lifetimes. But in this lifetime, it's like there's a sense of urgency. So that's why I'm, if you know their birth chart, you should look into the degrees, because if there is that sense of urgency, then it's like they want it now, because they've maybe even gone lifetimes without meeting their soulmate, without being reunited with them or coming to union with them. So it's like in this lifetime, they're like, okay, like I want to believe you're here in this lifetime for me. And that's why there is a sense of urgency with that too. Let's roll these again, because I didn't mean to lay them out that first time. Okay, we have Pluto. Sixth house. We were talking about the sixth house with Virgo and Leo. Okay, very interesting. This sixth house, okay, all of this really, again, feels like they have a very different public persona versus their private persona. Because again, sixth house, your daily routines, daily habits, your job, what you do for a living, the place of work that you go to, the people you hang out with, their routines, the meetings, the going to the gym, your habits, like this is all your day-to-day routine and the things that you do on an everyday basis. But then when we have Pluto and Leo and Sagittarius, this feels like their internal world. They could have Pluto in Sag. Actually, yeah, if they have Pluto in Sagittarius, that's a generational thing because Pluto stays in a sign for a very, very, very long time. So, I mean, I think Pluto, I don't know when it started, but I know for sure like 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. And I'm sure it goes further back in that direction. But, oh, actually, Pluto moved from, um, well, Pluto is right now, it's in Aquarius. So that means it went through Capricorn for quite some time. Okay, so I think this person probably was born in like in the 90s or like early 2000s. Because if Pluto just went into Aquarius like last year in 2025, then that means it must have moved into Capricorn like early 2000s. I don't know the exact timings that Pluto, I just know it's slow. Anyway, they could, if they have Pluto and Sag, if you have Pluto and Sag, if you were born in that time frame, you could be very similar in age, give or take a few years. Now Pluto in Leo, they would not, I don't know if they would be alive if this person, I don't think they would be like somebody you would be interested in. If, I mean, I don't think your divine counterpart has Pluto and Leo. They could have Pluto in the sixth house. They could have Leo in the sixth house. But yeah, on the inside, their soul is vast. But it's like their external life and the daily routine they live is very different from who they are on the inside. I think this person is very attractive, very handsome, very beautiful because Sag and Leo is very, very attractive. Okay, lots of information. I'm rambling. I think I need to move on now. So Pluto is also Scorpio energy. That could also be significant. They have a they're very disciplined. They have a very strict like daily routine and they're very disciplined about it. They don't get off track when it comes to their daily routine. Maybe they do a little bit, but I think this person is pretty strict with what they get done. Okay. Oh, wait, and this is Pluto. Yeah, you have Pluto out here twice. Okay, let me move on. I am rambling. Okay. Okay, that's better. Okay. Even that Four of Swords from the very beginning could be their love life, right? Like they're not seeking love right now, they're not chasing it. And that Four of Swords, instead of it being a period of rest in this lifetime, it could literally be that their soul has been in a period of rest from finding that divine counterpart for multiple lifetimes, because that's very possible. You don't meet your soulmate in every lifetime. So it's possible that they've gone a long time without you. I mean, if you're their divine counterpart. Okay, do they feel your energy right now? Whoa, I just saw 24, 42 mirroring numbers. Does this person feel group 3's energy right now? They could also have a very unique appearance. Sagittarius is very unique. They could look very like ethnically ambiguous. You know, you're like, where are you from? Like, what are you, like, what's your ethnicity? You know, there's a lot of people that look very ethnically ambiguous, or they have a very unique style. They dress very authentically to their soul. Does this person feel your energy right now for group 3? Does this person feel group 3's energy right now? Okay, Lovers, bottom of the deck. The Ace of Cups was in the reverse. Personally, I'm not going to read the the keywords because I don't really agree with, not that I don't agree with it, but you know, I have my own interpretation, so I don't really like to read keywords a lot of the times. Anyway, yes. I mean, here, okay, fine, I'll read. It says soul searching, introspection. So and consciousness, inner guidance, wisdom, truth seeking, independence, being alone, meditation. I definitely think this person definitely feels your energy right now, but they don't know how to like navigate it. And even with the hermit being an energy of kind of being in the dark, and you're moving this lantern to like guide you, it's like they know, they can sense you. They sense your energy, but they don't know where to put the love, or they like don't know who to give the cup to. It's like they're trying to find you, but like they don't know how to get to you, but they definitely recognize you and they recognize your soul, especially with this person being so intuitive. It's like they definitely sense you, whether you know this person or you don't. I think for some of you, maybe they have a face to the name, to the energy, but for others of you, it's just like an energy. And that's why, and even if they know your face or your name, for some reason, I feel like they don't know how to get a hold of you. They don't know how to like come forward to you or something like that. But they definitely feel your energy very heavily, especially intuitively. And I think that's what's maybe a little bit confusing, or that's what they're trying to figure out with that as well. It's like, okay, I sense this soul. Okay, so where are you? Right? Like I think they're trying to bridge the gap between the 5D and the 3D. But for some reason it's only in the 5D right now. Do they know that it's you by name, group 3, your name or energy, or is it just a feeling? Does this person have a name to the face? Face to the name. There's that 8 of Pentacles. Wow, King of Cups, bottom of the deck. I don't know for everyone, because the Fool did come out in the reverse. So for some of you, I definitely think yes, they like know the face to the name, or they've seen you, but they're trying to navigate you. They're trying to figure out, how can I get to you? How can I get closer to group 3? They're like, but here's the thing. For a lot of you, it's like they don't have a way to navigate to get to you. So it's like they're trying to figure out, how do I navigate this? Because they're in the dark about this connection, but it's like they kind of sense it in the 3D, maybe not 100%, or maybe it's like they feel you, but they don't know where to go, or they don't know how to find you. So they're trying to navigate it in the 3D, which is very interesting. For some of you, you could have also had a very brief interaction. If you like met them or saw them somewhere, it could have been a very brief interaction, because this really feels like, how can I bridge the gap? If I don't know how to necessarily talk to them or find them, maybe I don't have their contact information, maybe it was like a brief interaction somewhere. It's like, how can I bridge the gap? Here's what Spirit just said, that you are also feeling this way. For a lot of you, this could be mutual, like you're mirroring each other. Because I also saw 2442. There's like this mirroring energy, and you're also trying to somehow bridge the gap, or trying to see if this is real. I think this person also stays busy to not think about you, or like they distract themselves with work, or it's like, if this is very much in the 5D, they ground themselves by their physical work. What is stopping / blocking them in the 3D from reaching out to group 3? What is stopping / blocking this person in the 3D from reaching out? What is blocking them from reaching out in the 3D to group 3? Queen of Cups. Oh my God, 2 of Cups. Come on. We've seen pretty much every soulmate card possible. Your cup is closed. They don't know how to find you, group 3. Or it's like they don't know if you would reciprocate. Or it's like you're hard to get a hold of, but like your cup is closed. But also, it's possible their cup is closed too. because we already said that they're very selective. I also think this person, because they're so selective, they don't know 100% if this is reciprocated. They also don't know if like you would fit into their life. And I think they are also keeping like their cup closed. But we saw the King and Queen of Cups. So I do think there is a mutual longing between the two of you. But I think they're being very selective and they're being very intentionally slow about opening that cup up. And even with this cup in the reverse too, it's like I acknowledge it, I know what's happening, but I either like I need proof, or yeah, it's like I need proof that this is real in the 3D, or I need something to happen in the 3D before I can give my cup to you because I'm in the dark. I also think their independence is something that it's not a block, right? Because they're selective. So I think blockage is not the right word to use. I think they're just hesitant because they are so stable and they're probably really happy in their life. And they're just like, do I really want to let this person in who could potentially disrupt my independence and disrupt my happiness that I've worked so hard to achieve? So it's not a blockage, but they're very cautious. Especially with so much Virgo in their charts, even though they're spiritual, they need proof. So then how are you feeling towards them / this connection? How is group 3 feeling about all this and this person and this connection? How is group 3 currently feeling about them? How is group 3 currently feeling about them? Two of Wands. You're definitely curious too. I think, you know what's so funny? I think both of you are like, you're both are like, not spying on each other, but you're both like testing the energies on both of your sides to see if something's legit. For the Two of Wands, I mean, this is somebody who is holding that globe in their hand and they're thinking, okay, do I do it? Do I bridge the gap? Is this legit? They're looking over the horizon. Maybe they're trying to find, or this is you, my bad. Maybe you're trying to find them. It's like you don't know where to find them, or you don't know how to get a hold of them for some of you. But I think both of you are very much sensing it. It's like pulling on, there's a string and the string is pulling on both of you at the same time. And I think you're also questioning, okay, what do I do? I mean, do I take this leap of faith? Do I try to reach out? Do I try to find them? If I can't find them, where are they? If this is a ghost, why am I feeling them so heavily? But I think your energy is very similar to their energy. And I think this person makes you excited, group 3. You're excited and it's like you want, it brings a passion to you. It's like, I do want to try. I want to try. I want to see where you are. I want to see if this is legit. Like they give you a spark. Okay. What are you both currently learning about each other / this connection? What are you both currently learning about each other, about yourselves, about this connection? What is group 3 and this person currently learning about each other? Six of Wands, public recognition, victory, progress, self-confidence. Let's clarify. Oh, there we go. 9 of Swords. The Depth card, bottom of the deck. There's definitely some like anxiety with that 9 of Swords. I think both of you are learning how to overcome this is it real energy. You're also like learning how to navigate not having immediate proof about something. Navigate the 5D connection first. I think with the 6 of Wands here, both of you really like light each other up in your own endeavors. Whether you have a connection with this person or it's just a soul connection right now, um, both of you help the other person come out of that bubble. Both of you help each other want to do the best each other can do. Both of you want to like, it's like you, because you have been experiencing this person's energy, you want to achieve your goals. You want to reach your heights. You want to do the best that you can. Because maybe they're also doing the best that they can. But it's like you feed off of each other in that sense. And it's very powerful. It feels like power couple dynamic to where both of you feed off of each other to live and pursue your own dreams and passions. But there is this energy of like learning to work through your anxiety, learning to work through fears or triggers that this person brings up in you, in both of you, in each other, and learning to heal from certain things. But also this feels like this is the darkness that I sensed with the Hermit. Even this feels like learning to navigate without immediate proof, or learning to navigate something and have patience for something as well, and to like trust in something. Like trust when you can't see it. Even this I want to believe. That could also be you. It's like both of you are like, okay, I want to believe in this, but I'm not seeing the 3D proof just yet. And that is literally part of your lesson, is to like trust that your intuition is correct about it. And to surrender to it, knowing that it is real. What is one specific sign the universe is giving them about you? What is one specific sign the universe is currently giving this person about you? Oh my gosh, the Wheel of Fortune. Literally. Divine timing, divine intervention. Hanged Man, bottom of the deck. Look at that! King of Cups. Oh my god, Ace of Pentacles. 8 of Wands. And we saw that 2 of Cups earlier too. Okay, so definitely like divine counterpart energy is alive and well. What's interesting is they're definitely receiving signs and synchronicities about this connection and about you. And the fact that these are 2 major arcanas, they're seeing it in the 5D. They're seeing it as literal signs and synchronicities, not necessarily a phone call or a text or a DM just yet. And I think you're sensing it in the same way. You're feeling each other's energy pulling on each other. Pause, surrender. But the Wheel of Fortune is destiny. Literally, we're talking about them aligning to their destiny in this lifetime. So this connection between the 2 of you feels very destined. And I think they are seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities and picking up on like intuitive hits about you and about this connection. But since they're in a period of rest, again with the Hanged Man and maybe you as well, you can't really like do much. So it's kind of a tough position to be in, because you're just absorbing all the signs and the messages the universe is sending to you about this person, but you're hanging. You're tied to a tree. Like you can't do anything just yet. You have to be still. So all you can do is just absorb it. And same with them. All they can do is just absorb the signs and synchronicities. And I can see how, you know, like all the signs, all the readings, the universe is saying like, yes, this is your person to both of you. And then, but you're still hanging, you're still waiting on that 3D momentum to shift. And I can see how that causes that conflict, that internal conflict within yourself. So, okay, that's what I'm seeing here for YouTube. We're gonna go into the extended now. So we're gonna see the 3D reality of what's going on. We're gonna see what would their soul/higher self say to you if they could speak freely. What is the very next action they're planning on taking towards you? Who will initiate union, reunion, or the next steps? So is it going to be you? Is it going to be them? Or is it going to be spirit? We'll see, is this your life partner or more of a short-term connection? We're going to see where is this connection headed in the next 3 months? And we'll also get time frames, signs, synchronicities, anything else that spirit wants you to know about the 3D connection. But yes, so if you're interested, the extended is in the description below. It is available for a one-time purchase on Patreon, but it'll also be available on the 2nd tier on Patreon, and the 2nd tier has all of my extendeds plus all of the in-depth readings on Patreon. So if you're thinking about signing up for the tier, make sure it's the 2nd one. But yeah, it's in the description below. Go ahead and check it out if you're interested. And if you want to book a private reading with me, you can go ahead and email me as well. That is also in the description below. But if this is where I'm leaving you, that is totally okay. Thank you so much for being here. Take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this High Priestess with this Zebra Jasper and the Mystic Mondays Tarot, this is your group. Hello, group number 4. Thank you guys so much for being here. Whether it's your first time here on my channel or if you have watched my readings before, thank you so much for sharing your energy with us today. So let's go ahead and look at the breakdown. Like I said, we do have an extended, but I'll talk about the extended at the end of our YouTube reading. So here on YouTube, we're looking at the 5D connection of does your counterpart know you and do they feel this connection and kind of like what's going on in the 5D. So first we're going to start off with an energy check to see who is this divine counterpart that's coming through today. This could be somebody you know, but it could definitely be somebody that you don't know as well. So I would say just be open-minded about who's coming through. So number 1, we'll see, do they feel your energy right now? Number 2, do they know it's you by name / energy, or is it just a feeling for them? Number 3, what is stopping / blocking them from reaching out in the 3D? Number 4 is how are you feeling them / this connection? Number 5, what are you both currently learning about each other / this connection in the 5D? And number 6, what is one specific sign the universe is giving them about you? So that is what we're doing here on YouTube, and I'll talk about this at the end. So yeah, let's get into it, you guys. I'm super excited, and I will say it's super windy outside. So if you can hear the wind, I apologize, but it's a windy day today. It's like hot and windy, so it's very interesting. But yeah, let's get into it. So one thing that's interesting about this High Priestess is this color is definitely making me think of the throat chakra. So there could be something about communication with this person. Maybe you want to communicate with them, or maybe they want to communicate with you, or maybe you enjoy talking to this person if you know who they are, or there's like something that needs to be said. Maybe there is a throat chakra blockage, because especially with the High Priestess, this is a 5D card. The High Priestess, she's all knowing and all powerful, but she sits in the dark. You know, she doesn't sit in our 3D world, she sits in our subconscious. So there's something here on like, I'm feeling this and like I want to say something or I want to talk to you, but maybe there's like restrictions or boundaries in the 3D that are not letting me talk to you. But it's like your intuition is onto something. I will say that, especially with this High Priestess having a third eye, I feel like your intuition either about like this divine counterpart or this specific person, like if you know who they are, I think your intuition about something is right. If you don't know who they are and they're just like a random divine counterpart that you're like picking up on, then I think you're onto something about that as well. But yeah, it's like you know something, you see deeper than surface level here. Maybe they see deeper than surface level too, or maybe you see it and they don't see it just yet. I don't know. But I know for sure, I feel like you are seeing deeper than surface level. And yeah, like you're aware of something that's going on here. So also, I don't know why this just like makes me think of like a sponge, like a dish sponge, like the squiggly wavy dish sponges. I don't know why. So even that looks like a sponge. I don't know. Is someone doing dishes right now, or is someone like procrastinating? 222 on the time, as I was saying, is someone procrastinating doing your dishes? Because if you've got dishes or even just like chores like laundry or things that you have to do, Spirit is using this opportunity to call you out on it and to say, look over there, look at your pile or the dishes or whatever that you're procrastinating about, and Spirit is saying, I see it, and let's get on with it so we can get our chores done today. Maybe even listen to this in the background and use it as motivation while you start your chores. That would be great too. But okay. So let's go ahead and see who is the divine counterpart that's coming through for group 4. Now, you got 2 extra cards here, so I kept both of them. They came out together. So we'll see who is the divine counterpart coming through for group number... Oh wait, did I say group 3? Group 4. Maybe for some of you, if you came from group 3, maybe, I don't know, maybe something's going on with group 3. Maybe you were also drawn to group 3. But let's see for group... Oh my gosh, I am yours. Very cute, very sweet. Whoa, okay. Destiny and I am yours. You're on to something, group 4. And maybe I was thinking about group 3 because of like the high priestess, because I just saw 335 when I looked up at the time. Okay, you're definitely on to something. Okay. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Let's get started on your chores, group 4, because I feel like even with this, you're procrastinating on something. So, okay, let's see. 6 of Swords, Cancer, more blue, the Sun. Ooh, okay, self-express and embody truth. This immediately made me think of Leo. Somebody could have Leo placements in their big 3. Somebody could have Cancer placements in their big 3. Trine. Oh my gosh. And also look, this is, of course, this is the card that my cat. Do you see that? My cat, one of my cats, she just, this is why I don't keep my cards on my desk anymore overnight, because sometimes, well, I still do this, but now I put them back in the box. But whenever I have like super in-depth readings and it takes me like days to get it done, I'll just leave everything on my desk because I don't want to like keep putting things back and forth, right? But my younger cat, her name is Cora. Yes, she was named after Legend of Korra. But anyway, she like loves my cards. I honestly, you know what's so interesting? I don't know why I'm talking about my cat, but I actually call Cora a little high priestess because she's very intuitive. Like she's definitely like me. I'm like, like we're like literally one and the same. And a lot of times she like bites things, or like she does things right around the house to like give me signs or whatever. And she bit this card a while ago. So it's interesting. Now every time this card comes out, I think about her. And she's actually not in my room right now. I'm surprised. But okay, so anyway, Trine with angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. Something is destined to happen. And this is talking about this divine counterpart. So Spirit is showing me a little bit about who they are as a person, but they're also showing me about this connection as well, which is a little bit unique compared to the other groups, because in the other groups I like strictly saw their personality and their traits and about them, but Spirit here is almost like zooming out a little bit, kind of like your high priestess energy. They're showing me this person, but they're also showing me there is a divine contract with this person. The way we see the two people here, it's making me think of like the Two of Cups, but just like soulmate vibes, like divine counterpart, quite literally, with Destiny here. And it feels like you guys could have been reincarnated in many lifetimes. But it's interesting because every time I see this card, and I'm pretty sure a couple years ago, I listened to a reading on YouTube, and the creator, she like said a message about this card and it always stuck with me, and now it's really sticking out to me. But you see how they're like on their knees, and it almost looks like they're begging, or like they're like pleading, or they're like asking, you know, like, please grant us this wish. It's what it makes me feel like. And it's interesting because it feels like maybe it's been a while since you guys have been connected in this, in the human form. And maybe it's like you've had, you know, soul reincarnations at some point in time, but maybe it's been a while before the two of you came back to Earth, or were on the same plane, the same planet, the same, you know, you're on the same place at the same time. And it feels like you're both like, in this lifetime, both of your souls got together before you were born, and they were like, okay, in our next lifetime, can we please be reincarnated together? Or can we please just like find our way back to each other in the physical form? Because it's been so long, or at least it's been a couple reincarnations before we, or since we have been able to be together like in one form. And they're like contemplating, they're like, they're kind of funny. Like whoever the higher power is, I feel like they're kind of funny. And but I feel like there's you earned it, you and this person, because I feel like maybe they weren't gonna do it, or like there was like, you pleaded your case very well, and it feels like they're like, okay, like that's fine, you know, they're like, okay, you've earned it, or you are finally worthy of it in some way. So that also makes me feel, with Destiny and the Trine here, it makes me feel like both of you are here to either both of you have accomplished some major things and like closed karmic cycles in your very last lifetime, so that way in this lifetime you are worthy, quote unquote worthy, on reincarnating together, or there is something that you both are meant to do together in this lifetime where maybe you weren't able to close those karmic cycles, or like you weren't able to complete something in a previous lifetime, and you're like pleading your case. We'll be like, well, because we weren't reincarnated together. So if we can be reincarnated together this time, like it's like little kids like begging their parents on like, like, if I can have a sleepover, I promise I'll do all the chores. Literally everything is going back to chores today. It's like, I promise I'll mow the lawn, or like I'll do the dishes for a week or whatever, right? So it's something like that. It's like, you're like, well, if we could just be reincarnated together in this lifetime, we promise we'll close the karmic cycles, or we'll get the healing done, or we'll do whatever we have to do. Just let us be together. I don't know why there's a sense of like desperation or like a sense of urgency from your souls. But there's like this urgency. And actually, you know what's so interesting? I mentioned a very similar message in group 3. So for some of you, if you were drawn to group 3, there is some overlapping happening here. But what I was going to say is, I mentioned this in group 3, but if you have your birth chart available to you, like with the exact birth time, or if this is somebody and when you do eventually meet them, or if you do know them, look at their birth chart as well with their specific time. There could be specific placements that both of you have in the 29th degree, because the 29th degree is the very last degree. It goes from 0 to 29, but then from 29, it doesn't necessarily like hit 30. It kind of does, but then it starts over at 0. So it's like 29 is like, there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of like, it has to happen now, because we like, it's, you know what I mean? Like it's been building for 29 degrees and it still hasn't moved. So it's like that last degree is always very heavy before it moves into that next degree and before it starts over, essentially. So you could have some placements, maybe like 7th house, maybe Venus placements where you're in the 29th degree. But there's a sense of urgency for sure with your souls in this lifetime, but it does feel like it has been granted. So I feel like they approved it, but because they approved it, you have to do something in return. And it's not like you're indebted to the higher power, but it's like you have to, not only do you have to meet this person and come into union, but you have certain things that you have to accomplish together, because that was like part of your contract. So this feels like a very strong divine counterpart. It feels like the divine counterpart. I don't know if this is going to be like your forever person, because I think what I'm seeing right now is like you're meant to close some cycles with them. So that is important. But in the extended, I'm going to ask the question of, is this your life partner or more short term? Because I'm not sensing just yet, but it does feel like it's a very special, very significant divine counterpart. I also feel like you will be a little bit older when this person comes into your life. Just because the High Priestess is here, it just feels like you wouldn't be young and reckless and naive and spiritually immature when this person comes into your life, because there's a lot of weight on this, right? Like, I mean, you have to accomplish something with this person, so it's not just a walk in the park. So this person would come into your life when you are a little bit older, when you are already spiritually evolved, you've already gone through major spiritual transformations. So I think that's how you can also gauge for yourself if you are somewhere near this person coming in or not, because I don't think you would be young and reckless and naive for them to come in. And I think same for them. They have to hit certain milestones in their life as well for your frequencies to finally align. Now, this is Aquarius. So this is Mercury in Aquarius, and Mercury is Gemini, which is speech and communication. Well, technically it's communication, right? And speech. I'm pretty sure Taurus rules the mouth. Anyway, okay, so they could have Leo, because I immediately saw Leo when I saw the sun, but they could have their sun in Cancer, but they could have Leo and Cancer placements in their big 3. They could have, trine is making me think of a stellium, which is like 3 or more planets in one sign. So they could have a Cancer stellium, they could have a Leo stellium in their chart, but I love that we have trine here, because it feels like the union and the coming together of you and this person is going to be very harmonious. It definitely feels like right place, right time. We're coming together. And it almost feels like you don't really have to do anything. Like the universe is already just taking you there to them, and they're automatically bringing them to you. So it's like you don't have to do anything. You just have to kind of exist with this knowledge, which is what I said earlier. It's like you already know something about this, but it's like maybe there's not much you can do about it because it truly is divinely timed. But because there is this soulmate energy, whether you know them or you don't, it feels like they are already yours. You know, it says, I am yours. So it feels like they already know they have this very significant counterpart in this lifetime. I don't know how aware they are of this. I don't know how aware they are of the depth of the soulmate connection contract thing that you guys have. But I think at the very least, they are aware that like they are intuitively drawn to you. At the very least, they're like, okay, like group four, whether I know group four or I don't, they are my person. And I am like, I'm just longing for group four. I'm thinking about them or I am feeling them. So it's like at the very least, they like know of you or they know your energy. I think that this is a very bold person, especially with Leo and the sun here. I mean, they have like a literal spotlight on them. I don't know if they are somehow on a stage or if they do have like an actual spotlight on them or if they're very successful. Maybe something they do for a living, or maybe like they're really talented about something, but it feels like they have a lot of eyes on them and they are a very successful person. So maybe they have some status, maybe they have like they're in the public eye, but it feels like they have a spotlight on them and people know about them. Maybe people even celebrate them. Also with trine, it feels like they're really good at what they do, so they are living out their destiny slash purpose when it comes to their career right now, for sure. I think they have aligned very well to their career path in this lifetime, but they're really well known. But it's interesting, right? Because they have this duality, because if they are, you know, under a spotlight with that sun, then it feels like they have a public persona, a public image, but then they also have this deep rooted private home life with cancer here. Cancer rules the fourth house. So it just there's this contrast. I said that in group 3 as well. I will say the energy is a little different here, but there are definitely some similarities between this group and group 3. But they have a lot of depth to them as a person, and they but on the outside, even with this, like it looks like a crown, the roses around the heart, it's like they have some kind of a Leo crown on. They do something in the spotlight. They're well known. They could be in that 10th house public eye energy, but they have a very deep, intense home life, like in a very private sense. There's a feels like there could be a lot of cancer placements. They're very intuitive. It feels like maybe whatever they do, it's not like shallow and surface level, but it like you wouldn't guess that they had so much depth, or you wouldn't think that they're so intuitive, especially with this being the public eye. It's not that it's shallow. I don't want to use that word, but if there's something kind of like surface level, or like they only show the surface level. I don't know how else to like there I don't know. Yeah, something like that. But on the inside, I think they have the entire ocean living in them. They have the depths of the ocean. They have the intuition of a high priestess. And I think that it's interesting, right? Because they could be somehow conflicted. Because this Six of Wands, or sorry, not, whoa, Six of Wands, that's Jupiter in Leo. Yeah, Six of Wands also talks about victory and public recognition and being successful and being celebrated. This person is definitely celebrated somehow. And there's definitely a lot of eyes on them. And it almost feels like they could be a celebrity or an influencer or famous, maybe even an athlete to some extent. Like people look up to them, people admire them, people want to be like them. I guess they could work in like a corporate job too, but there's just something about like they have fans, which is so interesting. Okay, so or maybe if they don't, if it's not like a fan base, maybe it's like the collective. Like the collective looks up to them in some way. Okay, so this Six of Swords feels like they're actually in a big transitional period in their life right now. So maybe they are also hitting a certain milestone to where like their worlds are colliding. Because it feels like up until now, and maybe if you know this person or if you have like met them before or something, maybe you were some kind of a catalyst for this transformation or for this wake up call. But if you haven't, then it's just like your energy somehow did help them to wake up a little bit. Your soul kind of jolted them awake because it feels like up until now they were a little disconnected within like their spiritual side and their physical life. But it feels like they are definitely making waves and they're understanding that they are one in the same, and they're understanding the different aspects of their life right now, and they're finally like understanding themselves better, which is making them happier and it's making them feel more at peace within themselves as well. So they're definitely moving to like calmer waters within their intuition, within their mental health. And I definitely think they're like waking up to either like their destiny in this lifetime, or they're waking up to the destiny of this connection in this lifetime, especially because we have this I am yours energy as well. Also with trine, if you know your birth chart or if you know their birth chart, you could have a lot of harmonious aspects. Like maybe your sun sign is a harmonious trine to their sun sign. Maybe you're both, you have the same element for the sun, or you have the same element for earth, sorry, I don't know where that came from. I meant for Cancer. Like you have harmonious trines in your birth chart, but maybe your sun, maybe your sun is like very harmonious to their moon, because Cancer is making me think of moon, or like, you know, something like that. But with this, whether they know you or they don't, they are yours. And I think that even if they're still figuring it out, in the 5D, their higher self has already, like, because your souls wanted to reincarnate together, right? So it's like in the 5D, your souls already know of each other. They already know that you are each other's souls in this lifetime. So it's like they already know the truth. Or maybe their physical body and their brain and their 3D self doesn't know the full truth, but their soul definitely has already claimed you, and their soul already knows you are theirs and they are yours. Okay. Also, yeah, Aquarius could be significant. Also with Mercury and all that throat chakra and the communication we were sensing earlier, maybe you guys really want to talk to each other, or maybe you just had a big conversation recently. Maybe something was left unsaid the last time, because even this feels like I had to turn my back and move on or move away from you. So maybe there's like something was left unsaid the last time that you saw this person, and they feel like they had more to say to you. Also, they could have moved or traveled overseas, or like maybe this is a long distance situation, or they travel often. There's something about them going over water. Also, Spirit wants you to know that if there is distance, and if you guys did kind of like separate, or if there is just like a long distance aspect to this, the distance is actually like making their heart grow fonder. The distance is not hurting you, but there is this like absence is making the heart grow fonder. Also with this Cancer here, and even this feels like a family, this feels like a family. I think in this lifetime, also they could have their North Node in Cancer, because I was just about to say in this lifetime, family could be very important, or maybe like roots and building a home is very important for them in this lifetime. And maybe that's why they're moving away from that spotlight, superficial Leo energy, and in this lifetime they're trying to like build that home, build that true foundation for themselves somehow, or even have a family in this lifetime if they haven't had families in previous lifetimes. Okay, so let's get into the questions now. First question. Okay, first question. Do they feel your energy right now? Oh my God, I totally forgot. I have dice. Okay, last thing for who this divine counterpart is. Can we get any other messages about who this counterpart is? Leo, there we go. I mentioned Leo because I was sensing Leo. Mars, and then we have the third house. Leo, Mars, and the third house. They could have Leo in the third house. They could have Mars in their third house. They could have Mars in Cancer. They could be a Leo sun. They could have Cancer. Whoa, 11. They could have Cancer in the third house. The way that just moved to 11, I think that confirms to me that they are in the public eye somehow, because 11th house is about friends, collective, is the collective at large, the larger community. So it's like they're definitely well known in some way, whether they're well known in person, whether they're well known online. They definitely have a lot of eyes on them. I'm going to go back to that 3. The third house is about communication. That's interesting. The third house and the 11th house both talk about some kind of a community. The third house talks about more of an immediate community, your immediate neighborhood, family, friends, siblings, and also communication. There could be something about your immediate community here, but the 11th house talks about the community at large. So something about the community. And that's been coming up for almost every group. Something about the community or like your local environment. But for some of you, it could also be that you're moving, like you move somewhere. For some of you, like you build a home somewhere else. You move from your childhood home to that 11th house energy where it's somewhere else, somewhere farther away. But yeah, I think we were right with that Leo. And then Mars. Mars rules Aries. And also could be Scorpio. The day I'm recording this, actually Venus just left Aries. Venus is now in Taurus. Taurus could be significant for some of you. But yeah, they definitely have that drive. They have that drive. They have that, like, they could be an athlete for some of you, because Mars with that Aries energy is the athlete. You know, it's the athlete. If they're fast, they're hardworking, they have that physical body. And then, and then with the spotlight, they could literally have the spotlight on them as an athlete or as some like physical, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like somebody that does physical things. I don't know how else to describe it other than an athlete, but they have a drive. They could also be really fast. They have a drive. They have this like force. They're very good at what they do. They're also very attractive. Or like they're like very conventionally attractive. So I think a lot of people are genuinely attractive to them. If they're not an athlete, then it could just be their fiery energy, you know? Because if they're well known on like TikTok, on YouTube or something, then maybe they just have that drive with their work. Okay, now let's get into this. So do they feel your energy right now for group 4? Does this person feel group 4's energy right now? Does this person feel group 4's energy right now? There's that trine again. 3 of Pentacles. Yes, I would say they definitely feel your energy and they feel a pull to you, because a trine is a very harmonious aspect. It is so, it just flows so well. It's so peaceful. It's so like magnetic. And it's like there's no friction. So it's like, yes, they feel you because they're so just drawn to you. They're magnetized to you and they might not even know why, you know, because this being Pentacles, I feel like this person, since they're just kind of waking up to like spirituality and their own depth, they could be very like realistic. There could also have been something about their work. Like they think about you at work. But yeah, they feel very drawn to you, but they can't explain why. If you already know this person and you're already like in a relationship or a friendship with this person, then they just feel like, wow, like I just click so well with group 4. Like they have very harmonious thoughts about you and harmonious feelings, and it's very nice. You know, there's no like, that's how you would know if this is your group or not, because there's no like friction here between you or this person. There's no chaos, there's no fighting, there's no, there's no like, you know what I mean? Like it's not a heavy weight in your soul. Like it's so light and airy and free flowing. They definitely feel your energy right now. Do they know that it's you by name? Or is it just a feeling? Do they know group 4 by name or by face? Or is it just a feeling? The World. They definitely know your face. They might not know your name. Okay, so if you know this person, then yes, they know you and they are recognizing you as a divine counterpart. You know, they recognize that it's a very harmonious aspect and you are helping them wake up to that spiritual side of themselves. But if you like don't know this person, it's like they saw you somewhere, or it's like they recognize your face. Maybe they're having dreams about your face, or like having dreams about like your aura. But the World here, it's the end of a cycle. So it's like if you don't know who they are and they don't know who you are, it's like they're very close to putting a name to the face. It does feel like something about, like, if this is strictly 5D, something about it is ending soon, and it is manifesting into the world. Like, it is manifesting into the 3D soon. Let's clarify this. Do they know group 4 by name, or is it just a feeling? Do they know group 4's energy? Do they recognize that it's group 4, or is it just a feeling? Queen of Cups. Yeah, they definitely know you, group 4. And I think if it's just an energy, then they definitely know that it's like group 4's energy, even if they don't have your name. But I will say there's like familiarity. Obviously, your souls signed a contract, but it feels like they definitely know of you. Maybe there's like mutual friends, or they like saw you somewhere, or there's mutual acquaintances, or you like saw each other briefly. For some of you, you could have been traveling with that World, or like you saw them in a very quick scenario, a very brief scenario. But yeah, they definitely know you specifically. They're like, group 4, even if I don't know group 4's name, I know group 4. I sense group 4. There's that moon again. Maybe they're contemplating something. Okay, what is stopping / blocking them from reaching out in the 3D? So for those of you who are not in communication with this person, what is blocking them from reaching out to group 4 in the 3D? The Devil. The 10 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. This person definitely works or stays busy to occupy their mind. I just saw 3113, mirroring numbers. They stay busy and occupy their mind to not think about you, or to like, yeah, because I feel like energetically with the Devil here, there's a sense of a slight obsession, or there's a sense of like, I think about group 4 a lot. You know, I fantasize, I daydream, there's so many thoughts towards group 4 that sometimes they have to keep themselves busy to not think about you. But I also think this person is afraid of, if you don't know this person, or if they're not making their move towards you in the 3D, I think they're afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of rejection. Spirit also wants me to say that if you know who this person is in the 3D, and maybe you're already friends or acquaintances or already in a relationship with them, ignore this message. This is strictly for those that do not have access to this person in the 3D. It's like they're afraid of rejection, so they keep themselves busy, but they can't take that anymore. It's like the pressure is building and building and building the longer they try to dismiss it or acknowledge it. But for some reason, they think you're like unattainable. With the World and the Queen of Cups, they could think you're really popular. They could think you are very beautiful, that you have a lot of admirers and suitors. Maybe they don't know if you're fully available, or it's like they think you have really high standards. There's just something about this person. They put you on a pedestal and they just think like, I don't know, even if they are like this hot shot, you know, that we were talking about, and they have fans and admirers and all these things, for some reason you make them intimidated. Maybe there's something very unique about you that they have never seen before and never felt before, or they just feel like for some reason they can't have you, or you would reject them, or you're not open to them, or you're too busy for them. Even the world makes me think of being busy. But what they don't realize is like you're already soulmates. You know what I mean? Like you've already signed this contract. So yeah, I think what's stopping them from coming forward is, yeah, rejection. They're afraid of being rejected. They're also a little afraid of how intense they feel towards you. And I think it kind of lives in their head and it like builds into this sense of obsession or overthinking or even fear. And they're kind of living in that head. Like they're not coming out of the head, out of their mind, or out of their thoughts. But they're definitely like intimidated by you. Group 4. How does that feel? Especially if this is some kind of like a somebody in the spotlight, to think that you intimidate them. Okay. How are you feeling about them / this connection? Ooh, 3 of Swords. Let me clarify. Oh, I saw the Hierophant. Let's clarify this. Knight of Wands, Lovers, bottom of the deck. Tower. The way you feel about them, you could also be a little shocked about the intensity, because this Tower is hitting both of you. Like this wake-up call realization that you are soulmates in this lifetime, it's like hitting both of you maybe around the same time. And it's intense. It's a lot to take in, especially if you never expected it. But for how are you feeling about them and this connection? You have the 3 of Swords and the Knight of Wands. This is so funny to me because I feel like both of you think the other person is unattainable, but both of you are each other's soulmates. So it's like, it's kind of funny in a sense. Like, I don't know why, but you know what I mean? Because with the Knight of Wands and the 3 of Swords, you are also thinking that they might be out of your league, or that it's like you are telling yourself, don't get your hopes up. Especially if you know who this person is and you feel that intuitive pull to them, but the 3D is not matching up just yet. You're like, well, don't get your hopes up. Like, I'm just fantasizing. I'm just daydreaming. You know, this is like a famous person, or this is someone who has a lot of admirers or a lot of options, and I'm just doubting. You know, or it's like, yeah, like you're doubting it and you're telling yourself like it's just a fantasy, or like it's not real, even though you're the High Priestess and you know it's real. You know, but I think your human brain is trying to tell yourself not to get your hopes up so that way you don't get hurt. Because I think your 5D, your High Priestess energy wants you to jump in and take that leap of faith because it knows more than your brain does. But your brain is like, I just don't know. And with the 3 of Swords, some of you could be actively heartbroken by this person or by something that happened in the connection. But I'm not sensing that for everybody. I'm sensing this 3 of Swords as more as like, I'm afraid to trust you. I don't know if I can fully believe you. And with the Knight of Wands, I mean, you maybe see them as a player. You maybe think they're around, you know, like they're around people that are attractive all the time and they have a lot of options and they get a lot of DMs. Like you could just think, oh yeah, like they're probably a player and they wouldn't take me seriously. Because you're coming through as the Queen of Cups. So you definitely want a solid relationship. You want commitment. You want engagement, maybe even like marriage. Like you want that. But for some, they could be younger than you as well, which could be another thing that throws you off about them, or about like their stability. If you were to let them in, there's something here on like, I don't know if I can fully trust you, and I'm afraid to let you in because I'm protecting myself. And I don't know if we're on the same page. But if you do know them and you are in some kind of a connection with them, then for some reason you're not allowing yourself to take that full leap of faith. You're like halfway. And I think Spirit is saying that's actually like sabotaging the connection because you're not able to jump in wholeheartedly because you're afraid of getting hurt. Oh, look at that, King of Cups. I definitely think, yeah, this person is genuine. And I think there is some fear on your end. So it's funny because you're both intimidated by the other person, but you both want each other. So I think it's like if you could see it from my perspective, it feels like funny, kind of silly, but I totally understand, what you're going through. Okay. What are you both currently learning about each other? For group 4 and this person, what are they both currently learning about each other and this connection? Trust, to trust when you don't see 3D results just yet, to trust your intuition, and also to stop saying that you're crazy, to stop saying that you're delusional. Because I think there's times when you say that to yourself, and this person probably says it to themselves too. It's funny, you're both afraid of rejection of the other person, but neither of you would reject the other person. What is group 4 and this person learning? Magician, Emperor. For one, you're learning that life, you have to take charge in life to achieve anything. I think both of you are learning that, like, if you sit in your fears and you sit in that like everyday routine of just settling and being comfortable in your life, things are not going to progress. It's like you lose the magic of things. You just like lose out on a lot when you're not coming out of that comfort zone, or if you get too comfortable in your life or lifestyle, or even like, you know what I mean? And I think you're learning to embrace the unknown. You're learning to be confident. You're learning to trust, especially with that magician here. It's like you're learning to trust even if something is still taking time to build. With that high priestess and destiny, it's like you're learning to trust the unknown. You're also learning to stay patient and allowing things to fall into place naturally. But you're learning to be bold and to come out of your comfort zone. And I think same for them. You're also learning that something can be too good to be true. Something can be a dream come true. The universe can give you blessings. For some reason, I think you can be a little cynical sometimes. What is one specific sign the universe is giving them about you? What is one specific sign the universe is giving this person about you right now? 5 of Wands in the reverse. 5 of Wands is Leo again. We're seeing Leo a lot. Saturn in Leo. Ooh, the way that the universe is communicating to them about you, and like the signs that they are seeing, it's more internal. 4 of Wands, Ace of Cups. It's more internal because the universe is showing them that they were living some kind of an inauthentic life until the moment your energy came into their field. And they're realizing with the 5 of Wands in the reverse, it's like they don't want to live inauthentically anymore. They want happiness. They want what their soul is truly craving, which is you, or, this connection, or even for them to grow as a person. So it's like there's something special here. There's something real, something that can be built, but they have to align their life first. And maybe that's something the universe is saying to you as well. Yeah, 5 of Wands in the reverse. Because Saturn is all about structure. And Leo can kind of be a playboy, or Leo can kind of be surface level and not take things too seriously, or live for the spotlight, live for superficial or selfish reasons sometimes. And I think their entire structure is like falling apart. And you, just by your energy entering their life and the soulmate contract being activated within them, they're realizing that they have to restructure their life, especially if they want somebody like you in it. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. So now we're going to go into the extended, where we're looking at the 3D reality. We're going to look at what would their soul/higher self say to you if it could speak freely. What is the very next action/step they are planning to take? Who will initiate the next steps, union or reunion? Will it be them, you, or spirit? Is this your life partner or more of a short-term catalyst? where is this connection headed in the next 3 months, and we'll also get time frames, signs, synchronicities, places, etc. So all of that is going to be in the extended. It's going to be in the description below. It's available for a one-time purchase on Patreon, but it's also available on the second tier on Patreon if you would rather subscribe. But if you don't want to check out the extended, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want to book a private reading with me, go ahead and email me. My email is in the description below. But thank you so much for all of your support, you guys. Take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.